One. Hola, bonjour, and hello. Howdy, everybody. It is the Worldwide Tea. It is the one and only international drag race podcast where we cover all the international seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race that are airing at any given time. And as always, I am Evan Saudi from Pop Matters.
I'm Gregory Elwood from the playlist and sometimes the LA Times.
And y'all, it started. We're back in it right now. Although we had a lovely time covering the joy that is Slasian Royale, which is still currently running, and that is a separate episode bracket, we have not one. We have two premieres happening this week. My goodness, right back to each other. We have the seventh season of Drag Race UK and the fifth regular season of Drag Race Espana. And it is exciting, it is delightful, and most critically, the thing you need to know at the start of every episode is that in this house of love, we believe that all drag is valid and no queen ever deserves online hate. And as American entertainment journalists, we may not get every single cultural reference and always appreciate corrections. And there are some truly great queens who aren't good at Drag Race, and we love them all the same. You might just win the main challenge of an episode, who knows? But either way, it's been a lovely week. Greg, we're back in it. What was your excitement level going into this week? What were you most enthralled and anticipated for?
To be honest, I was, Slation has been so good and I feel like I've been so distracted by it. I feel like these two franchises have sort of come in under the radar a little
Mhm.
bit, and so there was positive surprises and there were negative surprises. So it's a little like that, but overall it's great to have global representation and I feel like we should start with maybe the one that we might have some I'm just guessing. We might have some pointed observations about, and that's Drag Race UK.
I have no idea what you could possibly be
Uh,
referencing, Greg, but you know what? Let's dive into it. Marissa, if you recall, we were actually there. We covered and we spoke to the winner of Drag Race UK season 6, Kyron Thrax. In my estimation, it was one of the better seasons that they've had. Truth be told, it was great. And it was actually at the start of this episode really nice because they started with Kyron Thrax,
yes.
do a little montage of the winners, working backwards, and then being able to end with actually a very nice and very beautiful short tribute to the Vivian, which I thought was well done. And yeah, I thought it was just a beautiful way to kind of kick off the episode in true proper fashion.
Just enough, not too much. Like it
Right.
didn't dominate the episode. Very classy.
Yeah.
But the queens come in right away. Also,
Right
like
away.
Espana too. Like no, like boom, right in. And first in is Catherine Feelings. As we've talked before in our Meet the Queens, she's 26. Um, She is from Cardiff. She's a cabaret queen. Uh, my first reaction was this gown is so
This-
basic. It is so basic. And I'm like, and I wrote UK hun, like UK, like so UK. Um, and then she's got sheep jokes. That's what I had. What did you think?
I think that's kind of mean to talk about Victoria Scone that way. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking
Oh,
at that. Oh,
hey,
that's not
Victoria
her.
Scone would trample over
She would
Catherine Feelings.
fucking destroy
She
her.
would
Are you
destroy her.
kidding?
Don't you dare use Victoria
How
Scott's
dare?
name in vain.
But either way, yeah, I was just so underwhelmed by this dress. Again, it's the kind
Yeah.
of thing where I kind of felt like they wanted to have a Danny Beard type. They wanted to have they wanted to have a Lawrence Chaney. They wanted to have kind of a comedy thing out the gate. I just wasn't getting a lot of comedy, but whatever. It's fine. It's fine. We can move on.
Yeah. Up next was and I'm going, by the way, this season, I'm just warning everyone. Some of these UK names, it's English, but these are not easy to remember and they are not easy to pronounce.
Tavis
Tyrus,
Mungardi, yeah,
Paris Bungari, the Titan of Brighton. My first reaction was Tynomi Banks. She's
a
giving me a
little
little
bit,
Tynomi Banks.
a little bit.
She says there's literally nothing I can't do in drag. She can do it all. She's a classically trained singer, dancer, comedy, but can she sew is my question. Because she didn't
Hmm.
bring up sewing.
Nope.
I did not love the bodysuit. And also she was a little cocky. She's like, because we've had other Brighton queens who have not done well. Joe was first out, Joe Black, which is still one of the craziest things that's ever happened on any franchise, that legend to go so soon. And she had says Pixie was not likable. What?
I
I
I
hope you
mean,
got to. I mean, girl, you got to see her down the street when you go back home to work there. I don't know what you're doing.
well, I think Pixie, if she's not likable, she can maybe take a good joke. Let's hope for that. But it's just a thing where I throughout this entirety, this is kind of a theme that emerges with this opening runway. I love the workroom entrance. It's one of my favorite things about any season of Drag Race, and they are fucking it up. It is like, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
do you not know you're on television? Don't you know this is
agreed.
how people are first going to get to know you? It's just like two not good looks out the gate, and I'm just a little shocked. Thankfully, we are redeemed a little bit later with a certain someone. We'll get there.
Yes, and in fact, the next queen
Oh,
actually I think
yes.
redeemed a media. And I'm going to say there's only three queens I'm really excited about this season,
Hmm.
and this is one of them.
Hmm.
Sally TM.
Hmm.
I love, 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 love this look. It's alternative. She says she's alternative. She says
Yeah.
she's strange. And she says I'm going to show you how art shapes our world to the sound of Toad from Mario singing Chandelier by Sia. And I'm like, okay, girl, I like you. I like
Tells me
this.
exactly what I need to know, 100%. Like
Um,
the zebra print up the legs, the zebra print
yeah,
here, the pink punk corset that's on. Like it's clashy and it's fascinating. It just pops so loudly in this
yeah.
workroom, and I just like out the gate, such a fan, just such an immediate fan.
The other really interesting thing is she's from Newcastle, and
Uh-huh.
it sounds like Newcastle may sort of be off the radar for many of the other UK queens.
Right, yeah.
Remember, it's not that big a country. Because most of them as they come through, most of them don't know who Sally is. And she's
Hmm.
been doing drag for a couple of years, and you would think her Insta would have popped on there somehow. But it's really interesting. They don't really know who she is.
Hmm.
Up next, okay. This is, I'm just letting you know this now. Up next is Celexa Diction. Did I get that right?
You are correct.
Okay, I'm never going to get this right. I'm just calling her Skrillex. This is Skrillex. So I'm sorry to the DJ known as Skrillex, but I'm sorry. Skrillex with her, I'm never going to get this right. Skrillex comes out and she's giving like sort of Jimbo-esque, but like in a more fashion way. And I don't know why I wrote this line, but she says she's taking it up the ass. Was that part of her entrance
That
line?
was her whole entrance thing. She's taking it up the ass. Like it I
Oh,
thought it was very
Jesus.
funny and low key, I'm not gonna lie, what a fucking look. I thoroughly enjoyed this. Like again, it wasn't like, blow you away. This wasn't necessarily going to win a runway challenge kind of look, but it was like
Yeah.
solid and it was well composed. It told me a lot about her. I really enjoyed it through truthfully.
So here's the thing. I liked it when I first saw it here, but as we go through the episode and that those breasts stay, that I'm already tired of it. I'm having a Michelle show me some versatility moment this. But I will say she
The
does let
Marie
everyone know.
Antoinette of breasts over
Yes.
here.
She does says she is the first girl from Leeds. And I
Hmm.
didn't know that. I thought we
I didn't
already
even
had
clock
one.
that either. I thought that was cool.
I thought we had her, and she says she is the pillar of the Leeds drag scene, which congratulations. Also, the only other thing that was disappointing, because remember they shot this in January,
Mhm.
she's got that 2002 European wig hair going, and it's
Oh,
like, okay, like fine, whatever. Up next is Patsy, or
pasty.
Pasty, and Pasty comes
For the
in, and
sake of the show, we're just gonna call her PETA. We're just gonna
we're
call
gonna
her.
compete. And Pasty comes in and she says, "This isn't the big British baking show." Well, of course it's not. You're on BBC Studios. That's on Channel 4, Patsy. Jesus Christ. Even I know that, and I live in the United States. Um, but she says she's from Cornwall, but now London. And she says, I don't mind looking like a twat. And you know what? I like a queen that's like sort of humble like that and willing to like, do whatever it is for a laugh. She once again, as we learned from Meet the Queens, she's the queen who tells everyone about her viral moment dressing up as a sausage roll, which neither Evan or I have found online, but we believe that it is true.
It is funny because there's been times you remember when they had Electra Fence came in and like I had the viral moment when I chucked an electric fence and fell into a cow pie, and then they
Yep.
showed it. Like they can get these clips, and they did not do that
Mm-mm.
here. So
That was
maybe there was a
weird.
song playing, who knows? But yeah, that was a little. Mm.
And the one other thing I'm going to say about her, because it's going to be a compelling theme this season, and or this episode, and maybe for the entire season, she looks way older in drag than she actually is. And
Yep.
I'm gonna leave it till now. We'll talk about it later, but that is a theme of this episode and this season.
The,
Up next. Oh, go
well,
ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I need to slow us down a little bit about
Yeah.
Pasty's fucking
Oh,
look.
sorry. Go ahead.
No, when
My
she
bad.
when she comes in with the giant actual like pasty
Yeah.
thing, I'm like, okay, this is cute. This is fun. She takes it off. I love that the gloves. I love that the top they're all pasty lined. It looks like they're trying to do a multi-layer bake. And the fucking black panties, Greg. It's the fucking visible black panties that kill me. Where she has the shirt, this skirt right above her hips, the skirt this short right above her hips,
Yeah.
and then just like you see the black panty just out there, and she woos the camera a little bit. But I'm like black panties at this point. I'm sorry. I was like, I had a real roller coaster of a journey with Pasty's look here and throughout the episode, if we're being honest.
Yeah. I mean, we should get to that because again, I'm not saying producers have cast queens to intentionally send them home first, but I'm not saying that. Um, and sometimes it's not, as we know, deserved.
Very true.
But
Very true.
but up next is clearly the drama of the season, if they ever show it in the edit, is Nung Bella, who is 25 from London, and she comes out and she says, "How is it to gaze upon an angel?" Which, by the way, that's a really good line. I liked it. Um, and then she sits down and we find out it's only her second year of doing drag.
Mm-hmm.
She has no qualms about letting everyone know that. Because she says, when it's correct, it's correct.
Mm-hmm.
She's got every sassy queen diva line like in the back of her head. But she also tells us, do I sing? Not really. Do I dance? Not particularly. But she goes, what is Drag Race without the doll? And you know what? That is a confidence to have going into Drag Race.
I gotta be honest, I fuck with it so hard. I really do. Like she was. I mean, if anyone heard our episode where we talked about the Meet the Queens on there, which, as we know, is not always indicative of what you get in the first episode edit. I really liked her. I connected with her, and it's still true here. Genuinely throughout this episode, even though she had some very noticeable fumbles that we'll get to, I liked her confidence. This look is fine. It's not like anything to write home
Yeah.
about, but like she just had an energy that was good. Like this is the kind of person that like it's your second year doing drag. It feels like people pushed you to it because a lot of people were like, "Why aren't you doing this? You should have been doing this for a while." Like I like her. I still like her. I'm still such a fan. Truth be told.
Great. Uh,
Oh boy. Oh, I know what happens in the episode, Greg. I'm
yeah.
not blind.
Uh,
Let's anyway.
Up next is
Vanity
one of
Bane. Oh, I'm
no.
sorry.
Oh,
No.
hey.
Minty Drop. Oh, I'm sorry. I got
Hey.
that wrong.
Well, that's later. Um, but up next is one of the three queens I am interested in this season. Is Page Three.
Yes.
And she comes in with a very signature. She has a newspaper, I believe, like for Page Three. And I wrote out of drag, she looks like a super tan young Matthew Good. If you know the actor Matthew Good. And
Yeah.
that's not a diss. I was like, I kept looking at her, I'm like, why do I recognize you? And then it just clicked. It was like, oh, it's Matthew Good. If you don't know who Matthew Good is, he played Ozymandias in the Watchmen
Mhm.
miniseries. He's been in many movies, including He Who Shall Not Be Named's Match Point with Scarlett Johansson. And but very, very talented actor. But I thought she's fun, and this is what I wrote. She's giving skinnier Kelly Roller.
I need to sit with that for a second. She's better than Kelly Roller, rest assured. For anyone who isn't aware, since we are talking about Espana later in this episode, Kelly Roller is one of the most controversial queens to have been on a Drag Race España season because she was noted to her roller skates. She wasn't especially good at drag, but my God, the judging panel loved her. A fascinating pick. It's weird because I still got more of the spintiness out of her. Like there was just, I
I
know they're not in the same house, but there's just, yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
I did later. I feel like that, especially with her runway look. That's when it clicked for me. But I get it,
Yeah,
100%.
exactly. 100%. Big fan. Big fan. I like this
Big
look.
fan.
This entrance look was okay for me. I know it leaned into her Pamela Anderson-ness of it all, but there's so much more that comes that is actually exciting and enticing.
Yeah. And I think I don't know who says it, but I think one of the other queens asks her, "Are you?" They have a whole like, "Are you a competitive queen?" combo for some reason, and I
Hmm.
don't remember. I made that one note, but whatever. Up next, oh boy, Elvosk, 22 from Northern Ireland, and she goes, "I'm not just a pretty face," and I'm like, "Are you a pretty face?" Like, what am I missing here? Um, I love her confidence. She says she's a karaoke queen, which basically means for US North American listeners that she's a singing bar queen. So it means you go to the bar and for an hour, Elle will sing, she'll have a time, she'll be on at 7 o'clock, and she'll work with the DJ and she'll karaoke and sing songs with the audience. It is a staple of UK drag, and it's a hard gig in like, especially if you do it multiple times a week, but it means she can sing probably
For
20
real, for
million
real.
things like for I mean she may not have range, like her voice may only do so much. I'm not saying we don't know if she does. I'm just saying, but it means she can off the top of her head sing 20 million things, which
Hmm.
is impressive for 22.
Hmm.
And she also said she knew that no one would know who she was. She
Yes.
wasn't surprised. What did
I
you
know the
think of
girls, they
her?
just don't seem to know me. It's like, okay, but
Yes.
that's, a lot of queens have pulled this card before, so it's like, cool, great.
And also she's 22, giving at best 32 in her drag. She looks so old, so much older than she is. It is blowing my mind. Ginger Minge didn't try to look this old at this age. Like, oi. Am I crazy? Do you
No,
agree? Or
no. I
okay.
mean, and listen, some girls paint older, and we give them all the credit in the world. There's room for everybody.
There's room for everyone. Up next is another 22-year-old queen. And in fact, she is a World of Wonder alumni. It is Viola, who was on Queen of the Universe.
We know the universe.
If
Yeah.
you even remember her being on, because I think she lasted one episode. She wasn't on very long. Um, she plays the violin, which I don't even remember from Queen of the Universe, but maybe it was brought up there.
If
But
entirely possible, it's been so long since I've seen that. But yeah, like something
but listen, if you want to steal Thor's gigs, fine. Like,
good.
but hey, she comes out with a violin, and at least it's something different for UK. And I wrote not only is she from Queen of the Universe, that is some Queen of the Universe hair. That
Mhm.
is that 2022 Euro like Holland thing going. And then I also wrote, just like Elle, why is she making herself look so much older than she is? Am I
I
crazy?
I mean, let's be real though. I mean, to be honest, I feel like a lot of drag queens, especially with the way that the Drag Race casting has gone, a lot of older queens aren't necessarily competing. They view it, I think, as a younger person's game for the most part. So a lot of times they're casting these 20-ish people in their 20s for the most part, that are relatively starting out, and a lot of people may not be able to get into certain clubs at certain ages. So I think there's naturally, if this way to present is more mature or present, beyond whatever their current age is, they might want to hold it up or maybe add a few years on. Just tossing it out there as a theory because I agree, I see what you mean, but like I think that's just how can I be taken seriously if I look like a baby queen if in fact I look like an older queen.
I don't think it's about looking like a baby queen. I think it's about looking and I trust me, I am not ageist in any way, but there's it it makes you look uncool. Like
Hmm.
why there's nothing fresh about it. It
Hmm.
looks reductive.
Hmm.
And I don't I that's what I don't understand personally. So, but let's see what happens over the season. Maybe they grow and change and whatever. Instagram is saying no. But remember they shot this in January.
Uh-huh.
But that's just anyway, my take.
Well,
But
also, did you
go
did you
ahead.
catch the confessional look from Viola?
Yeah, that's my problem. She looks so different. You can look different, but she looks so. Oh boy, did you think she looked like she just left
No,
Berkeley
I need
music
to
of
just tell you
school?
the quote I wrote down for my husband the
Oh,
second that he saw Viola in Confessional Look that just said if David Corn Sweat was non-binary, which I just can't get out of my head now. Which is
all right. Now I gotta go look back at it because I didn't get David Corn Sweat at
I
all.
will
But
send
like,
you the photo. It's
okay,
incredible. Anyways, I just had to throw that out in
no,
the
it's good. Up next, and I have to say, she did
Amethyst.
not.
Oh, sorry.
No, no,
Go ahead.
Chai. You thought Chai T. Grand looked like Amethyst?
I thought that. Oh my, the painting. That was my first thing out the
Oh,
gate. Absolutely, yeah. Or,
um,
as my
I
husband also said, Samantha Ballantyne's the substance. Was the
wow.
other.
I actually thought she was interesting.
Yeah.
She's from London. She was born there, but she is of Thai descent.
Hmm.
Which okay, check off another Slasian Royale
Thank you.
possibility.
Thank you.
Um, but
Sawadee Ka gave it away. It was beautiful.
yeah,
Yeah.
she's doing a dominatrix aesthetic. She admits that she talks about that in her voiceover.
Hmm.
She also says she is a door whore, which and that she's not a Soho girl. And so to explain what this means is that because we don't really have this in the States,
Hmm.
is but it's in other countries sort of around the world, especially gay clubs. There will be a drag queen outside the club to try to get you to come in, but also to like just present sort of what the night is. They're not running the door. They're not saying you get in or you don't get in, but they also like point out, they make sure the other dolls get in. Like that's sort of their job. But
Hmm.
it's meant more as an aesthetic thing. It's like a model sort of thing. It's almost like being a hostess outside a restaurant. And
Right.
she does that at GAY at in London at Heaven, which is also where Paige and Bones perform, and Paige and Bones don't do the door.
Hmm.
And they have introduced this storyline because Paige is there, basically being like, "Oh, but we'll I should wait. That's later on in the workroom." But the point is that she is not known as a performer,
Hmm.
and I do feel like by setting up this edit, they are already setting up giving her an insecurity that she may or may not have.
Fully, fully 100%. And it's just like the thing where I kind of hate to say it, but I just feel like, because we're talking about Slasian Royale and because we're talking about excellence and just how good the season is, but there is this thing to be said about how typically, especially queens of Asian descent, don't do especially well on some of these seasons. Like Aurora Matrix doing top two in Canada season 4, I felt like was almost somewhat of an exception to the rule. And obviously
Yeah,
in the US, we have queens that do exceptionally well, but especially in UK, like I think last season we had Zahira, who was out pretty early on, like, and obviously Something Wong had a chaotic run for their few episodes of Slation. So it's the thing where I see exactly what you're saying, Greg, and it's the thing where it's like I kind of don't love that that's kind of the narrative that's happening.
yeah,
It might just be true. It might be facts. In
yeah.
fact, even Bones is talking about it later on when they're getting ready in the workroom.
That's yeah.
But like, it just feels like she's more than that. We'll see how it plays out here, but I agree. Some seeds are being planted very early on for a potential exit at this
And
point.
we should just bring it up now because we'll eventually get to Bones. But I did think when they included that, I didn't think Bones was being shady. She was asked a question and answered
Right.
it. And the other
100%.
queen was trying to be shady, who was talking
100%.
to her. And Bones was like, no, she just runs the door. But she didn't mean it in like a dismissive way. And you respect all queen. There's 20 million jobs at a club, and
Hmm.
it's an important job. And some drag queens are the DJ. Some drag queens do the door, some are performing. It's all part of making the nightclub work.
If you're Isadora
Um,
Spreads, you do it all.
you do it all. Yeah, you really do. You run a night, you host a night. But up next was Bonnie and Clyde, and she is originally from Dublin. She's also the Grand Canary Queen, and I don't know if they're going to bring that back up. She spent many years working Grand Canary. She's been doing drag for a decade. She comes out and she says she does totally stupid drag. That was the quote that I had. And she's also, more importantly, the first queen from the Republic of Ireland on Drag Race, which is
Yeah.
sort of wild a decade in, or so
That,
not a decade, but 7 year seasons in.
yeah. Technically, I mean, I can't remember if the UK seasons led to off years or what, but like, yeah, that's significant.
It
That's
and I
huge.
get it because they don't you need to have a UK's residency, but it's really interesting. There's also been rumors of having a separate Drag Race Ireland, which maybe WoW was like, don't cast. We don't want to blow that up, but we'll see.
Yeah.
My thing with her is she is 30. She also makes herself look insanely older, and I did not think that this look was anything impressive from a queen who's been doing drag for a decade.
I, I like the structure. I like the shape of this leopard print factory. My biggest issue is that if you're going to have a giant kind of hooped collar thing that goes around your
Yeah.
head, there needs to be structure. When it's a little wavy wobbly, it just loses that, freshness there, that or any sort of impact or statement. If it came out as like a solid thing, that would have stayed more directly, this is fashion. So it is the kind of thing where it still felt very, not to borrow a phrase from Rue and Michelle, it just felt very regional. Like it was fine. It did its job. I liked her overall from this opening part, but a winner I did not see, at least in this opening part.
So you know what's really interesting because you called her regional. She admits she is a mega mix lip sync queen,
Yes.
which we really don't. You don't really get. You get queens who do lip syncs in the UK, but
Hmm.
you never hear them talking about doing mega mixes. And when we mean by mega mix, what it means is song, non-song audio clip, meaning like something from a movie or a TV
Mhm.
show, and it's usually themed. This is a very American thing to do. So it comes and goes in popularity, but you hear it almost any night at any drag club in the US or Canada. You don't always hear it in Europe. So it's really interesting that that's what she does because she was on Grand Canary and it's a thing for touring. Like it
Mhm.
works in that sort of environment. Um, she's also the other one other thing we need to bring up because I don't know how long it will last. She knows Viola because they've done cabaret together. So I thought that was interesting, and I was like, did they really not tell each other like that they were on? Because they were acting like, "What are you doing here?" And I'm
Oh
like,
my
"Yeah."
God. And Geometric showed up and was a whole thing.
Uh, and last but not least, coming to take the crown, Bones comes in a leather skin look, which I thought was freaking awesome. She is the Manchester Queen of Soho. Soho is in London. She's based in London. She's 25. She's the looks queen. She and Page Three are friends, or know each other very well from work. They sort of tease it, they sort of don't. They're sort of hiding it, which is like very interesting. Um, and she is in the Crystal Versace family with Dee Licious and Crystal. And all as we mentioned up before, if you do not know this, if you follow her, almost any American queen that's been through London in the past 3 years knows who she is, follows her, respects her, and sort of puts her on a pedestal. And it goes without saying, before anything else happens in the episode, she's a front runner.
Bitch, crown it. Because the thing is that when you look at what is officially her entrance like promo, you forget that when she came out, she had a giant wide leather bag in her head with two bullet points and a zipper that she had to do that she would open to show her
Yeah,
mouth. Then she takes it out. Then she has all of the fucking face jewelry immaculately placed,
yeah,
every single point on. It's like there is just truly. I'm not gonna say it's like a full like Marmalade, Tyron, like separation for the rest of the girls, but like fuck it. Every single look this episode, and we'll get to it in a second, just kills them.
yeah,
We have our thoughts about how the episode ends. We will get to it, but already
yeah.
out the gate, she left such a strong impression. And most critically for me, when we have the door discussion later, I feel like Bones so easily could just be an absolute cunt. And she's confident with herself, she's full, but so far in the confessional she's just confident, she's
She's
not
almost a she might be a
condescending.
little too quiet. Like she might
Yes,
be almost too quiet, which
yes.
we'll see how that affects. I mean, I feel like we've had a couple seasons recently where like the eventual winner or top four, Suki had her super quiet edit at the beginning of Slasian,
Hmm.
and that was a sort of a wink because she's gonna make it pretty far. And
Hmm.
but now she's talking all the time because they were giving other queens like the spotlight.
Yeah, all those
But
queens are gone
anyway,
now. Yeah.
RuPaul comes in,
No
and one of the
Rumail.
Oh, there's no room mail? What do
Did
you
they
mean?
kill Rumail? Yeah, because you're right, RuPaul does come in, but there's no,
Yes, there is.
Her Majesty doesn't already have hers. That's just gone. I don't know, in
Yeah,
budget
we'll have
cuts.
to see if they bring that back next week.
Yeah.
But Ru comes in, and by the way, in one of the more like modern suit outfits she's had in a while, I sort of liked it. I thought it was sort of
I
cool.
liked it. I like.
Um, but she announces this year the winner will be getting a 25,000 pound prize. And listen, you're always talking about how this money goes far. 25,000 pounds does not go far
It does not go
in the
far.
UK. No,
But
it
you know what?
doesn't.
It's better than a Rue badge, better than
It's
a
it's like
duet with
having a
Rue.
it's like having a weekend job. Like it's not that great, but it's money. They all get wine. They do a toast. I thought that was okay,
Yeah.
fine. And then they are invited to the Brit Gala, and they are going to work the pink carpet in a drag look that will blow everyone away, and they are going to answer some questions from some very important VIQs. And I don't under what is a VIQ? Very important queen.
Yes.
Ah, sorry, it just figured it out. And
But what
Evan,
queens they
who
get, let me say.
tell
Yeah.
Evan, please, who were these queens? Who did they pay to cross the English Channel?
Well, there's been some surprises, both pleasant and that's interesting. Bag of chips, wonderful. Understand. I get why she's there. Plain Jane, interesting. Definitely a chaos element. She's definitely this challenge on hard mode. Uh,
Although wait, you got to remember this happened. they shot this only 5 months after the end of that season, and she was one of the breakout stars
Mhm.
of that season. So it sort of makes sense why they'd pull her over.
Yeah. We have Marina Summers looking incredible as always. How can she not be? Angeria Paris Van Michaels, who, for those who don't know, is one of the biggest fans of the international drag race seasons out there. So there's a good reason that she's here. And then, why not? Tessa Testicle is here. Let's bring her in for some fun, for some Sprickens de Deutsch. She's here. Great. Love it. I'm pleasantly surprised.
And you know what? Before we get to what happened in the challenge, I'm just going to say this. I have no doubt that some of these queens are going to be awesome and they're going to be great. And in the years to come, they will reach new heights. But all six of these queens blew the UK girls away. Like they literally stole the whole thing. And by the way, Testa Testicle is a early out on a US All-Star season. It's like, let's be clear
Right.
here. But like, but they sort of murdered them. Like, and they weren't even trying that hard. And I get it,
At
the
all.
queens are nervous, they're coming in for the first time, but I've seen too many other seasons where good queens can handle something like this. And
Mhm.
I did not think for the most part these girls could. Do you agree or disagree?
So I do agree, but I then this is kind of getting to our point about this entire episode is what is this challenge being judged on? Because at the end of
Hmm.
the day, it's supposed to be a Brit Gala, a Met Gala type thing. So you would think, okay, so the outfits, so the runways. Seemingly not. It seems that the entirety of the challenge isn't what you wear; it's just how you respond in the interview, and that
Yes.
is kind of shocking, given that some of the looks that we've seen. Go ahead, yeah.
Unless they decided they wanted the look to matter. It was all, it was very like, well, we'll get to it, but it was a little bit of that. It was very. I thought again. Watched this episode and I left an audio message for Evan before he watched it, and I said, all I have to tell you, Evan, is the BBC is gonna BBC
BBC.
because that is what these producers in the UK are doing. I do not blame Wow for this. I actually don't blame Rue anymore. I just think whoever's running this show is keeps doing this bullshit. But that's just me. Um, but anyway, let's just go through it because it was sort of, I have to say, the queens were, but it was fun because of the veterans.
Yeah,
Um, so Taya T. Grand comes in. I love the top. I didn't think the bottom works.
it was too
Um,
fragmented. Like it's supposed
yeah.
to be a latte, it's supposed to be like multiple layers of stuff, but it's just the cuts are too hard for it to actually like show any sort of blend or mix.
And Marina Summers was very nice at first, and she says, Asian excellence is the category this evening. She was nice, but her question to her was, what has been your biggest fashion disaster besides this? And Taya couldn't really answer it that great, but that was sort of a hint of what was to come.
Yes.
Up next was Sally TM, and here's the thing: I loved the concept of the dress.
Yes.
I thought it was beautiful print. I thought it was wonderfully made. I thought the face kini killed it. I think she did not need the face kini, and it was. I did not think also for this challenge. You've just been told this is a runway interview challenge. They gave you that in the preps. Why would you cover your face for an interview challenge? Like I
Maybe that was maybe not part of their construction, or maybe she didn't have enough time to fix it. That's the only thing I could potentially think as to why. I don't know. I did get shades of Sasha Velour with this look. I did
yeah,
get a little bit shades of Jimbo in All Stars 8 when they did their kind of face kini made from scratch runway challenge.
sure.
So this I've seen some of these elements before. I still thought it was well executed. I liked
Oh,
what Sally Tam was presenting all the way straight through. Yeah.
I sort of felt like she could have been in the top. Right.
Yeah. And
If she didn't have the face skinny.
well, also, when she was given her interview question, like, tell us something interesting about yourself, and she talked about how she had her wisdom teeth removed and made
Yes.
into jewelry. I'm like, you know what? Go on, you wackadoo. Like, that just really, it really emboldened me to her. We could talk about people who were robbed this week. I think Sally TM should have had a better week than what ultimately was presented.
I agree with that as well. And Baga had a funny line about I love your makeup or something, which
Yeah.
we clearly could not see because she had a face skinny on. Um, Up next is Katrin Feelings, and I wrote
Nope.
yeah. Did I say it wrong?
No, I'm just saying no to
No.
this outfit.
I mean, I did write a look Angeria would love in caps. Um, uh,
Ugh.
she, I don't know why I wrote this, but I think, did Angeria interview her? Whoever, oh, or was it Tessa? Oh, no, it was Tessa.
Yeah.
And I think she described it as a foreskin sleeping bag. Like, what? And Tessa, did Tessa say to her, "Why are you wearing this, girl?" Like, or
I vaguely remember something like that. Listen,
and I wrote Rue guffaws. Like
yeah,
whatever Tessa asked her, Rue just died.
yeah. Listen, all I'll say about Katrin is that I think she's going to do great on Down Under versus the World. I think she has a very good shot there. I think I'm excited for her in that sense. But yeah, it was
I love how you think we're gonna getting a second season of Drag Race Down Under the World.
it's cheap. Yeah, she did not do well in this.
Um, Up next was Skrillex. I'm sorry, Select's Addiction. Um, and I think we find out she's a friend of Gothy Kendall's,
Mm-hmm.
or
He does
which I don't
mention
think
that.
which she mentions that. And I thought it was I wanted to like the look more,
Thank
but
you. 100% agree. Very
I
Iris
thought
Van
it
Herpen-esque almost, but not really. Yeah.
I thought it was a little messy. And again, I wrote, are the huge tits happening all season? Because this look might have been better without the huge tits. Did you think anything else?
It was such an almost for me. It just there was no focal point for it, which I think was the
Yeah,
biggest thing. Because if you are going to
agreed.
have a peekaboo window for your boobs and then there's nothing going on there, I just kind of wonder what's going on. Honestly, if you look at the wig was genuinely stunning. It was an actual
Yep.
tree coming out of it,
Hmm.
but you really have to look for it because it's so lost in the other details of the rest of the outfit and the back curl and all the other things going on. So it was such an almost for me. I'm hopeful for her, but we'll see.
And this was also forgettable because I don't even remember who interviewed her, and I don't think that was very interesting at all. Um, but more interesting, Tyrus Mongardi came up, and I actually liked the look. I thought it was
Same.
pretty good.
Mhm.
Um, and she and Plane have perhaps one of the most awkward
Oh,
interviews
it's
that
so bad.
Plane
It's so bad.
just steals from her. And the more it went on, and I've watched it a couple times because it's been online, it's like been clipped and whatever. Um, I don't know if it was nervous. Sometimes you just don't click with someone
Right, which she
in Plane.
said. Yeah,
Yeah. But I
exactly.
also thought she didn't handle it right, and she
Mhm.
let Plane take over the interview.
Yeah.
Um, and but it was funny. Plane jokes about how she thinks she's wearing airplane cushion bags, and I thought that was sort of it was a good diss.
Yeah.
Um, uh, but I also wrote if this is the first time Plane had interviewed someone, I'm like, is Plane going to cause an international incident? Like,
Our relations are already soured enough. But yes, it was.
yes,
Yeah,
it was a
I
little wild.
like overall. I like the outfit again. I thought the textures was good. I just like the way the wrinkles kind of worked on the dress. I didn't think made it look cheaper than it was. Like when it got into like the midsection to her thigh area, like it just kind of scrunched in a way that wasn't satisfying. So that was really my only real kind of big knock against the outfit.
Up next was Patsy, and she shows versatility because you think she's a camp queen, and this is trying to be glamour but say something else. But I did not understand the blood at all. Like what is she trying to say with this? What did I miss?
So I was under the impression because there's a joke that's made about how it's a period dress. Very infamously, as we know, from All Stars 4, it was my God, I can't remember her name right now, but there's a queen who was not able to wear a period style outfit.
Oh, it was Manila
Manila,
Luzon.
thank you, Manila Luzon, who's not able to wear it on the thing due to censorship. So, like, the fact that there was even a reference to period anything on here was interesting. Later on in the edit, it seems to change the idea of just like a bloody napkin or like a bloody shower curtain because there's these little, beaded like holes on the side. So I get the sense it's trying to say something. It's just so unclear. It in the lighting, it looks more like spaghetti than it does like blood. So I'm unsure. I do love that it's rhinestone, however. It's a bit of a confusing thing. It feels like she's making a statement. It's just unclear what that statement is, you know?
My problem with everything that you didn't say anything wrong, but everything you told me tells me no one, if you have to explain all that for your dress, then it didn't work.
But
But I
in
thought aesthetically it looked pretty, and I didn't
yeah,
think it deserved to be in the bottom. But in her interview, because this clearly is the most important thing, she sort of went on a tangent about her eyesight with Marina, and Marina didn't really understand what she was talking about, and it wasn't an English problem. It was that Patsy wasn't explaining it very clearly what was going on. And also a hint to anyone in these challenges in the future, it's probably not you should talk about something not so personal and maybe talk more about something more fun and like, sort of casual and like or gossipy. Like to go into like my medical condition on a red carpet for a British gala is not what happens on red carpets. So
mhm.
it was awkward. Did you think anything else?
I no, I mean it's the thing where when you get into the industry, whatever. If you look at talk shows, whenever someone shows up on a talk show for the 2 years that we have them still, people typically these celebrities they have these stories pre-vetted, they're ready to go, they know exactly what points they're going to talk about or what they're going to be fed. So like, and it's kind of the same for a drag queen. You kind of have to pick and choose. You have to kind of have things at the ready, and also you're a drag queen. You've hosted club nights, you've dealt with unruly
Yep.
people, you've had to interview. There's a reason why this is. I can see a part of the challenge, but. Yeah, she, long story short, did not do extremely well. I still learned about her, which I think is kind of the
Yeah,
key, but just maybe not the things that I wanted to learn right out the gate. Who knows?
me either. Up next was Benny and Clyde, and it's funny. I
Brown cow
like
stunning.
to
Sorry.
be honest, I like the judges. I thought this was a cow look
Yeah,
until
100%.
she
100%.
said it was a dog Dalmatian, and I get it. It works for that too, but for some reason it gave cow.
It gave cow.
Um, I don't know what happened in this interview. It was very short. I actually wrote they cut plain to the hilt.
Mm-hmm.
So this could have been one of those where it didn't go well and it wasn't funny, but they didn't want her to be in the bottom, so they edited it this way. What did you think?
It's the exact same thought. I still got cow. I'm sorry. There's just no
Yeah.
way I can get around it just with those spots. It was, yeah, overall, I mean, she did fine. She did fine.
Up next was page three, and this was a very different sort of look for her. I uh I don't know what she's talking about with Baga, but she talks about how she can she can do a four-way. She can, and I don't understand like what
I
the
think she was
fourth.
mentioning she had a bunch of roommates or something like that, and she was able
Ah,
to, from what if I recall correctly, which it would fine, live your best life, but can we just take a second to talk about this fucking look? Like, my God, I'm not saying that this is like an all-timer or anything, but it's so fucking good. This menswear ties and
yeah.
jackets and other things just kind of crumpled and sculptured into these different forms. It's just so striking. She just knocked it out of the park. I was so impressed with
Uh,
this whole thing.
yeah, it was definitely a red carpet look that would get attention, especially like something at the MTV, like, music
Oh,
video awards or
100%. Yeah.
something. And I think it showed, especially if you've seen her in London, that she has versatility, that
Hmm.
she just doesn't do the Pamela Anderson barbed wire thing and she can do other things. And I thought that was smart.
Hmm.
Up next was Young Bella, and I literally was like, oh no. She comes in as another Marie Antoinette. And I'm like, did you watch Drag Race? And she has a long story for Tessa that Tessa is just like sort of like taken aback by. She says she's a world builder. It's awkward at first. It's not going well. And then I think didn't Tessa ask her, "Do you have any other talents or something?"
Yeah, yeah. It's like, yeah, do you have any other talents, or can you play any instruments or something like that?
Yes,
And yes, and then she breaks out her incredible nose flute rendition that she's able to do.
which was funny. It was cute.
Mhm.
And you might argue maybe she shouldn't have been in the bottom because of this, but especially if you're only taking the interview into account, this was one of the funnier, memorable moments.
100%.
But then later on, no, her runway mat. See, it's all confusing.
And again, and you and I have been about this again. I'm just going to reiterate the point there. I understand that Michelle doesn't like seeing Marie Antoinette looks anymore, but like, come the fuck on.
No,
Like,
I actually was so on her. I agreed big time with Michelle, especially when she
Okay.
talked about the critic. But no, wait, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't
Yeah,
interrupt
no,
you,
I mean, it's
but
just the thing where it's just like, this is still a well-composed look. Is it amazing? Is it a knockout? No, I love the feather fan. There's a couple elements that I like here, but to just be dismissive of it because of what it is, to not appreciate any of those details, I just feel like at some point that's just gonna fuck it up so bad, and I'm not about that. Just dismiss it because it fits into this one boxer archetype or style.
my problem is it didn't bring anything new to it.
Mm,
It wasn't like what Marmalade did with her which was a more modern sort of
hmm
interpretation of it. I didn't think, and we've seen so many of them,
hmm
and it's basically young Bella saying, I didn't watch the show. And I'm like, all right, well, so why are you here?
Right.
Like I'm not saying you have to watch every fucking episode, but at least have
That's our
watched the
job.
UK. Yeah, that's our job. At least have watched the UK and know that, like, by the way, Michelle brought this up on UK and US. She brought
hmm
this up last season on UK, No More Marie Antoinette. And then she brought it up on the US. It's like she's trying to tell them all stop. And I sort of agree. It's too much.
hmm
Anyway, that's just me. Up next, Miss European Hair 2021, Viola. She's back. And Jerry has a good line about Godiva chocolate because I think she looks like chocolate.
Yeah.
And then Viola gives the most boring possible answer you could
About who the
possibly
real
give.
Lady Godiva is. Did you know
Yes.
that she went through town and that there's the whole oh my God.
Yeah.
I hate this fucking wig. I kind of might hate all of her wigs. They're so bad, Greg. They're so bad. I am
They
kind
were
of
great
stunned.
in the pandemic.
Yeah.
They're not great now. Now we've had too much.
It's like the outfit is fine. I'm gonna forget about it the second this episode is done. But fuck me, it is just everything about her wigs. What is it specifically? It just ages her. It just gives kind of like old drag in a way that I'm not like a fan of, and I hate the way they're matted. I really hate it, especially the way the tone from the wig and the dress is actually off. Like everything that could go wrong with this thing. I was not there. I was not there for it. I'm so sorry to this woman.
To this woman, yeah. Up next was Bones in this incredible
Eat my face.
big
Fuck off.
gold penis with swords
Fuck
going through it.
off.
It was really great.
Yeah.
Super memorable. Um, but I'm guessing the interview wasn't great because it was super short.
Mm-hmm. It's like two
So,
sentences. Like it was. I felt like
yeah.
Henry. Yeah. It was. Yeah.
Which made me think they wanted to not have anyone think she shouldn't be safe.
Yes.
But this was clear. But if you're wondering why Bones wasn't high after her two runways, it's probably because the interview really sucked and they just hit it.
Which, given her personality, I can maybe see that. But we'll
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll get there.
Last but not least, El Bosque. And I sort of like the color combination.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't dislike it, but I personally thought the look was dated. I did not think that it was that interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And I was it Plain Jane who interviewed her?
Oh, it
Or
was
was
plain
it
Jane. It was a
and
hundred
Plain's
percent plain
like
Jane. Yep.
she goes, the 80s threw up on you. And I was like, yeah, she sort of nailed it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
um, and she's like, she's a little rude to her. She's like, what exactly are you here? And Elle sorts of pushes back a little bit. But I thought Plain ruled the interview. I didn't think
Mm-hmm.
Elle did great, which is why I don't understand what happened later on in the episode. What did you think?
The specific reference that she was saying, like, you're not a pop star, are you, plain Jane? That was such a specific reference that we as dumb Americans did not get
Oh,
explicitly, but it was definitely a thing that Michelle clued in on. And I think they were just more impressed that even if the stuff that she said wasn't necessarily funny, as she's been throughout this entire episode, I think the fact that she confidently pushed back, or at least didn't take any of that shit from plain Jane, I think is
okay.
what ultimately kind of endured her to them.
Well, anyway, they come in the next morning, I think, and Patsy might be in trouble based on the edit. Um and that's also when we have the whole conversation about Bones talking about how Chara works the door, and she says that's not shade. I wrote that down. Because the other queen's trying to make it into shade with her. But then it's time for the runway. I didn't really think anything else happened in the workroom. Was there anything else?
I mean, young Bella talked about her background and trying to get her parents on
Right.
board with the fact that they're a drag queen, but also, Greg, if you hear this sound, moo, you might be safe.
Oh, that's right.
That was
When
teased.
when did we find out about this?
Well, the tease came at the end of the actual runway part itself of the Brit Awards thing, and then they go into the
That's
workroom, and
right.
then they're like, "What's this cow thing? What's going on?" And we'll get to the actual reveal of that in just a minute. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So
anyway,
Ru comes out with almost a white wig for the UK. She never really wears white wigs in the UK. It's mostly
I
for the
love it.
US.
I love it.
Um, and it, as always, she's going for her more clubby looks in the UK, which I just wish she'd wear in the US. I wish she'd do these more clubby, fun looks. Although I did think the cape was a bit much and didn't look amazing. And then Joel, who I don't know who this man is, but I've seen him in. I think he's a presenter, like in the UK, like
I
a
think
TV
it's like
presenter.
he has a British comedy duo. I think it's called Nick and Dom. I
Uh,
think they've been on a show for a while. So he honestly was giving big Joel McHale energy, but
yeah.
a little bit more engaged, a little bit more enthused. He definitely was
He
memorable of the guest judges they've had. I'll say
he
that.
and I'll say he was very enthusiastic. He was on board and very queer positive. And even though I do not think he is,
I do not think he is either.
I do not think this man is gay. But
Until
he
his cock is in my mouth,
yes.
I will not be able to
Uh,
confirm.
but he has a very sexy chest. So
Yes,
that the chest bit was funny.
and giant
So
teeth.
it's time, and also we should say the wonderful Alan Carr is here. And I will say Alan is one of the best judges, hands down. But he is starting to veer into this, okay, production, what do you want me to do? Like he doesn't seem as independent as he used to be, and I hope that changes as the season goes on, but I'm a little worried.
He may have been distracted by filming Celebrity Traders at the time. I'm
Yes.
unsure. Who
Yeah.
knows? But yeah.
But it's time for Queen of Your Hometown, which is a very UK every season. I feel like they always do the Queen of Your Hometown look. And Bones comes out. She's the Peak District, and it's sort of like a over puffy jacket and like pants and like boots and I here's my thing. I thought it was super fashion forward. I loved it, but I didn't know if it was drag enough for the first episode of Drag Race. I felt like it might have been a little too casual. Just a little bit. What did you think?
I thought the concept was just so forward. I thought it was just so striking. And the thing is that, like, truth be told, it is one of the most memorable runways in this category, hands down. Now, you could talk about maybe there could have been more breast augmentation. There could have been a little bit more sparkle on there. It still read as drag to me. It was definitely was a
Okay.
point of view perspective overall, but it came together three looks in a row of a stunning package that
Yeah.
just like shut it down. Like, truth be told, I'm so on board for the Bones train. Truth be told,
Up next is Catching Feelings. Okay. It's contra I am all for contrasting prints. Listen, I have an arts degree. I have a master's in fine arts. Like I'm all for it. But these did not work at all. Like this is not how you do it.
the Tartan
Um
Spartan.
and then the print on the tights was terrible. Like it
Oh
just
yeah.
distracted from what was going on. And I wrote why the green bow in the back? Why? Like I thought it
Why,
was all too
why the
much. It
hat, even if we're gonna go
I
there? Like, I understand that may have been more specific to her region, but just it was kind of a
and
mess.
then them loving it, I'm like, I was like, oh, we're in for a long
We're in for
season.
a long season, baby.
Long
Strap in.
season. Up next, though, young Bella in what she describes as a Big Ben fantasy. Um, I thought the hair was fun with the clock in it. The dress looked like a mini challenge. What did you think?
So, Greg, I'm gonna get right up close to the mic right now. I just want to tell you, I was supporting my girl, Young Bella. I really was all the way straight up through this episode. I love her personality. I think she has a point of view. You lost me, girl. I am so sorry. This look, this was rough city. Call the dog
Yeah.
pound because rough. Oh, it was so not
I
good. I felt so bad for her, truly.
I didn't feel bad for her because she still brought it.
What's
Like it wasn't like I would have felt bad for her if she made it in a maxi challenge.
hmm
She brought this with her thinking it was the shit.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I felt that bad. Up next is page 3, and I just saw Sminty drop. No, I'm just kidding. Um, uh,
I did say very sminty when
yeah,
she came out. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
I and I didn't mind it. It was but so she has a painting of Surrey Hill, on her hat, and then also on the bottom of one of her legs, like sort of
Mhm.
like imprinted on there. Um, I I thought I loved the idea of the outfit, which I've seen before, but I sort of thought it was, and I love my girl page 3. I thought it was a little tacky.
We'd seen it. That's the problem with it, is that we'd seen almost this exact kind of the body wrap, like painting style. Like I thought that the calf opening up was cool. I thought there was nice little
Yeah,
references in there. It just didn't have the same impact. And again, like unfortunately, when we say Sminty, it was very Sminty, and it just kind of more of an echo than it was an innovation. And I think that's
yeah.
probably the thing that held it back.
Up next was Chaiti Grand, and she's doing Queen of London. And I have to say, for the most part, I loved this look.
Same. It
Uh,
was really good.
my only issue was that I don't think she needed the UK flag on the back. I think it could have just been those colors and just I thought it was like it diminished the look a bit. Like the front isn't really the Thai flag, it's just the color. And I thought that she didn't need to do it on the back. It was smart because
Hmm.
she did something to make to tell that it was a smart safe. Like I'm
Yes.
making this to be a smart safe. I wish she had done something different on the back, but I loved the look. And I hope it means she's here for a while. Like I
Same.
hope that she has good runways.
Same. 100%. Very,
Um,
very on board with this. Yeah.
so I do have to say, Viola's up next, and I will give her credit. Her makeup and the hair is but this ribbon dress, representing Coventry, I love this. I
I
thought this
gotta
was so good.
Thank you. It was the thing where I kind of appreciated that the color tone was not what you would expect. You normally don't
Yeah,
see anything this light for something. You thought there'd be a little bit more pop or a little bit more color or emphasis. It was kind of rightly muted. I thought she made the right choices, just more for efficacy than anything else. I was really more impressed with the edit and the not going overboard on it, because you so easily could have
yeah.
gone in that direction. So I'm so glad that we agree on this. It was a quiet shocker for me.
But then the hair was too much. Like she should have just done simple hair.
No.
I don't. It's a very young queen, like not knowing how to edit,
Yeah.
which I get.
Mhm.
Up next is Sally TM, and she's inspired by a metro train, or as she says, or it's also a train line specifically in wait, she's from not Leeds, she's from Newcastle. I can't remember where she's from, but wherever she's from. Um, here's my thing. I thought the look was very good, but what I was more impressed with is she's showing insane creative range in her three
100%.
looks in this episode, and I sort of loved that. Um, and also the one thing I said, and I'm not being shady, but I after seeing her maybe for the third or fourth time as a talking head, can you tell she smokes?
Slightly. There's been little
Can you tell?
implications over there. I gotta be honest though, Greg, with this look, I still like, even though it is Metro, it still felt like this was drag closet to a degree. Like I know she
Oh,
modified it,
maybe.
whatever. It just felt like this was something that she had already in her universe, and I don't know. It's like it still was a little bit cheap to me. Not the cheapest, that we'll see.
Yeah.
But it just was, it was okay. It was fine.
So up next was Patsy representing Cornwall. And here's the thing, it wasn't groundbreaking, but I thought it was very good. I thought it was well executed. It was a different look for her. She showed three different looks the entire episode.
Mhm.
This is not a bottom queen to me.
No.
I
No.
do not understand how she got in the bottom. I even if the interview is that bad, she should have been low. I'm sort of shocked. Um, I thought it was actually she should be proud of this look. I thought it was good.
The problem for me was that it was kind of bulky in points where it just felt like a lot of leaves were glued to this thing, because again, the whole thing is the Eden Project. It's these biodomes on here. She has a very clear umbrella which she opens up to represent the dome. Like when they toss out the critique of crafty, that kind of, I feel like, comes through a little bit sometimes here. And it wasn't like that bad. It wasn't like theater school or anything else like that. But I think per your point earlier, could use a little bit more dazzle, could use a little bit more sparkle, could use a little bit more something to kind of help drive the point home. But I agree, overall, it was still good. It was just safe. It just
Yeah.
wasn't a mind blower. Yeah.
Up next was Tyrus from Brighton, and here's the thing. She is doing a pufferfish from the Brighton Aquarium. And okay, and I wrote this before we ever heard the judges' critiques. So is this an actual inspiration that she had, or did she find this outfit and find a way to make it work for what she thought she needed? Because it was a cool outfit, but
It
I
was.
never would have million gotten any, I wouldn't have gotten any city with this look. Like
Not at all.
unless the it would be like saying Long Beach is known for the puffer fish, and I'd be like, okay, like I would buy it. But like I was but also she's so giving Tainomi. Like it's so wild. Like the hair yeah. But we agree on this, right? Like
Yeah, it was honestly the wig, the two puffs on the hair, I thought was
yeah.
one of the better saving elements from here. I just wish there was more than just almost like the next to nude leg. Like having the puffer
Yeah.
jacket was a good idea. There just need to be more focal. I mean, it wasn't bad, but definitely it didn't give. This is my hometown.
Okay.
Okay.
Up next is Elle. And she is representing the Titanic Museum in Belfast. By the way, I've been to the Titanic Museum in Belfast. It's
Hmm.
quite an experience. It's well worth going if you're ever. There's no reason to go to Belfast, but if you're there, go to that. Um, this I thought this was terrible. This was a super mini challenge look, or it was a bad design challenge look that at best would have you low or safe. I thought this was terrible. And then uh, I did, and I if she wins this season, I will never believe like and someone was like, "Yeah, but Aquaria did no. Aquaria did something much more fashion forward than this. It was much better made than this. It had much better hair than this, and it also is less this already looks dated and shot in January.
Yeah.
It looks older than it is.
Mhm.
Aquaria's look from 7 seasons ago in the US still stands on its own because of how it all works together. I just thought this was so bad. Like, what did you think?
The hair was the best part. The wig was incredible. I thought it was well done. But when you have two literal pieces of either plastic ply or whatever that are glued together and your hands are through them, oh, you're the Titanic. It's just like when they gave a similar critique to Bimini in season two when they did the prehistoric runway, and then it's like you came out as an amoeba. Who would have thought to do that? But it's like this very Ivis Van Herpen fashion forward, like genuine, like
Yes.
beautiful thing you can give like, okay, you adjusted the prompt, but okay, I get where you're coming from. Museum, fuck off. Like, I'm sorry, this was just outside of the wig. This was just not a great look, and that is effectively what I have to say about pretty much everything that I've seen so far, which makes this whole episode the curiosity question mark that it is, truth be told.
100%. Up next was Bunny and Clyde, and
Acacia
I
Forgot
wrote,
takes the stage. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Acacia Forgot would love to be this remembered. Um, I I wrote, I don't know. It's an okay gown. It's great gowns, beautiful gowns.
This ruching is so harsh on her cheek. Like again, that's why when I say Keisha forgot, like it was all I don't want to say it was that bad, but it was getting close. Like we're broaching on a level, just fucking blend something. Like
Yes.
it kind of took me out. I mean, again, the look was eh. I'm not gonna particularly remember it over well, this Irish green shake kind of thing that's going on, but just the makeup is just taking me out. Bonnie has a lot to improve on in a short amount
Yeah,
of time to
she
survive.
there is no nerve slash fierce in her at all. And I
100%.
also I think this was the same hair or same style hair she'd already done earlier in the episode. Like it was okay. Anyway, Skrillex is up next. And she is a giant Yorkshire pudding. And it's a corset with a train, but so it's not really that hard to make. But I
Right.
will say the color combo and the acrylic on the breastplate was very well done.
Hmm.
And that was what made it memorable to me. But again, I didn't maybe for putting big breasts work, but I want to get to 3 episodes in and not have her have gigantic breasts.
It's a
And
very
I am
simple ask.
I'm not against that.
Our
I'm not
demands at
against big
Worldwide
breasts.
Tea are very simple, I would say.
Yes,
Yes.
very simple. All
The
right.
reveal was not necessary either, by the way. The whole like
Did
when she took
yeah.
the part off, like it just was yeah, please no, stop.
Did you like it or eh?
Eh.
Okay. So we
Shooter boot,
find
I go by
out
eh.
that we find out they don't tell us they don't bring out the safe queens first. They basically let us know who the top three and the bottom three are.
Hmm.
And the top three or we find out the top three is Katrin, page three, El Bosque, and then the bottom is Nignola, Patsy, and Taris. Everyone else is safe and back to the stage. So let's go through do you want to go through the critiques or should we just not?
No, you can if you want to. There's still so much more to cover. Your
I,
call.
all I'm gonna say is, uh, these were my notes really quickly on all their critiques. I wrote, Katrin, I watched something else. How is she just not safe? Why is she here? Um, uh, Ning Young Bella, and I think I'm quoting. This is what Michelle said. She's gonna say, "I'm gonna say this with love. If I see another Marie Antoinette."
Mhm.
And Alan is really honest. He says that her clock look does not encapsulate
At all.
London at all. Like, and he didn't get it. He was very nice about it. And then this was the most telling part of the whole probably episode. Is Rue has this moment with Nong Bella, which is very, if you go back and watch it, super choppily edited. And she says she thought that Nambella was having a put on personality, meaning that she's not really being herself in how she's presenting herself, which is, we could do an hour on this. And the only thing reaction they show from young Bella is she says she will take it all in stride and will apply it. So
Hmm.
the only other thing, so there had been rumors that young Bella and Rue had a number of confrontations over the season. And it's sort of apparent that this might have been one of them, where young Bella did not take criticism very well or pushed back in a way that may have made Rue, I'm not going to use the word angry because I wasn't there, but they had a little back and forth. It's very clear they cut that out of this episode. The only thing you else need to know, listeners, because it's a fact and you can look online, is once the episode dropped for the premiere, Young Bella archived any RuPaul's Drag Race images on her Instagram. She has two images left up on her account, and it is only two of them that are not from the show. They're like images of herself. So something went down. More could be to come. I think it goes without saying, Young Bella is not going to make it to the finals. But we have a storyline here, and she has also already commented online to some people, and I don't know if she deleted the comments, where she can't basically wait to get out of her NDA. So interesting. And I'm actually surprised more people didn't realize how choppy that edit was. But I think, you're watching the premiere, there's so many queens. It may have been more apparent if there were only like six queens left. While I've been talking about this, Evan has double checked. And am I correct? Has she archived?
Not only are you correct, but in her bio, there's nothing indicating that she is on Drag
Yeah,
Race. And on top of that, there is another look that she has posted, a clock look that is not what she wore on the runway. That she just, in fact, she has credit to nails and photography, and for outfit, she says, "Girl, let's not."
yeah.
That's what she wrote down. So, holy shit. I thought Charity Case from season 3 of UK was the last true blowout that we never got to see on stage. But uh,
Well, I don't. Well, there was Baby. I think
was that
Baby
a
and Rue
blowout
had.
though?
Oh,
Because
I
Baby just left for her mental health, is what she said, and it was treated very respectfully in the edit. So I'm not. Maybe there was something there that I was missing, but
My understanding was that there was more back and forth on the stage between her and Rue.
okay,
And the judge actually I shouldn't say that. The judging panel, I think, was the word that it may have been Michelle too. Like, but that was just what I remember. I could be wrong, but I thought one of the reasons why she was upset was because she was upset with the judging and that she had pushed back and had not gotten what she wanted to hear.
got it.
She
Well,
didn't
at
feel
least
like she was meant to be there.
got it. Well, hey, at least her judges weren't La Roche and Nina Garcia, so at least we have that to try and hide our reactions again.
Um, the only other thing I'm gonna just go really quickly is they say that Patsy's outfit was a sad her was a her red carpet look was a sad shower curtain, which I was like, whoa. You could say that about half the
I
looks that were
mean,
there, and that she gave disheveled energy. Okay, I didn't think she was bottom, but we didn't see the entire interview. We weren't there. What I would have had her save.
Yeah.
Terrace, I think is the one we all agree upon. Like she should have, I would have had her in the bottom,
Hmm.
but she eventually ended up being low. But and they criticized her for talking over Plain Jane, which as someone you and I have both done many interviews,
Hmm.
sometimes that happens. Sometimes it's just bad chemistry, and maybe she was just unlucky. I will say Rue completely clocked her makeup. She said that she did not have
Thank
enough sort of foundation
you.
or
Hmm.
or shading or volume on her face. And to me, and she was, you could tell like that really rocked her. And because she's been a queen for so long, but I
Yeah.
also feel like she's never been on television or on lights like this. And I
Hmm.
think she thinks, we all look in the mirror and we think something, and then you see a photo later and you're like, whoa.
Hmm.
So I was more surprised that she took it so harsh. Like she took it really personally about the makeup.
Yeah.
Um, and then the only other thing was that they thought Elle was just charming and dynamic. And Michelle said that her look was dynamic. And if I'm gonna tell you the next time I see Michelle Saj, Michelle, if you're listening, I love
Friend of the
you.
show. Friend of the
Friend of
show.
the show. We're having a conversation about this. This is
Yeah.
insane. Like I don't I know they're paying well, the BBC, but Jesus Christ. Like I just don't buy that.
Just
Um
crazy that someone, I mean, who knew that Ginger Minj's drag daughter would be able to waltz her way to another crown? I'm
yes.
kidding, my
I
God.
know. I know. All right, anyway. Then
The
the
lucky
Queens vote.
cow!
The explain the lucky cow, Evan.
Fuck if
I What does
Jesus.
the lucky cow mean?
So imagine the golden beaver or the golden baloo twist from Canada or Philippines. Started in Canada, which is one of the coolest things they did. The winning queen of the week sees the bottom three, gives the golden beaver to one, so that they are saved from lip syncing in the bottom two. It's the same, except it's democratized. Now people have coins that they get to put into a cow thing, and then it doesn't matter though because there's still going to be a bottom two. But with any luck, one of the queens who's eliminated will get to see if she's the lucky cow. And it's listen, if this sounds complicated, wait till we explain the heart system in fucking Espana. All right, there's a whole
Yes.
other thing that goes on with that. But overall, I'm like, this is overly complicated. This is I like
Yeah.
okay. They vote, one queen gets to be the lucky cow, and if she's in the bottom two and loses the lip sync, she stays. Like that's the sense that I get. It's just it feels unnecessary. I'm so sorry.
I
I've seen some people say they like it. I just it seems stupid to me.
I would like it if I believed the vote totals. I believe this as much as I believe whatever the next results are in the Hungarian presidential election next
Uh-huh.
spring. I don't believe this. I just think production used it to show that they were saving another queen so that no one got eliminated this week. But
Yeah.
sure, maybe I'm just being conspiratorial because our country is falling apart.
Yeah.
Um,
But also
uh,
in the workroom though, Tayrus does have a complete and total breakdown over all of the
oh yeah.
critiques too, which is like again, and to your point, if she was never been told any of this stuff prior or no one ever told her to her face, then yeah, it can be a little shocking or a little put back. But she just truly felt disappointed and that she let everyone down. She's known for her looks, or I don't know. But like it was a little bit of a sad moment, but she was, it was a very emotional untucked.
Also in Young Bella, also in Untucked, they're cutting around what she talked about with the queens because it's a
Mhm.
very weird edit where she goes, "Not how I saw the fantasy coming." She'd clearly done like something before and was upset what was going like you can tell the queens are annoyed with her like
Mhm.
in the back room like that was interesting. And then Patsy, they have her say in confessional because she's just being a good queen to production. That's not how I think, she's like, the second I left the Brit Gala, I knew I messed up. Okay. All right.
Cool. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So they come back. Paige is your win. No, Paige is not the winner. She is high. She's safe high.
It'd be a
And then
very different episode if Paige was the
Elvas.
winner. Yes.
Elvosk, our 22-year-old little Jinx Monsoon who makes blue hydrangea look like Sasha Velour, wins the season, wins the episode. And
Spoilers.
Kate, no spoiler, we don't know who wins. And Katrin is safe. And then they get to the bottom three, and Taris is safe, so we can have a horrifying lip sync between Patsy and Young Bella, who literally embarrass the queer community in their
Doesn't know the
rendition
fucking
of
word.
Charlie XCX's Von Dutch.
He doesn't know the word. If this isn't a hard song, this isn't fucking Call Me Mother. This is Von Dutch. Like, but like, it's like, I'm sorry, what is the how she knows that I'm the number one. I'm your number one. She knows that part, but like, fuck me. So here's the problem. It's a terrible lip sync to a fantastic song. But then it's also the thing where just genuinely, truly, I thought Pasty actually ate Young Bella up, largely due because she knew more words, but also she was doing more stunts, she was doing more tricks. Not that that's necessarily needed, but this is a fucking Charlie XCX upbeat song, which it felt necessary. I just it wasn't good to begin with. This wasn't as bad as the Yes and lip sync from fucking season 17, second episode, but like
Oh no, no, this was as bad. I
you
thought
oh you
this
think it's
was, oh yeah. Oh no, no.
okay.
This was bad. This was
Okay.
really like, this was like, I was embarrassed for Charlie XCX.
Yeah. You
She will ne
licensed your beautiful song out for this. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
This is, Charlie's on Insta everywhere. She's on social media, she's on TikTok. She ain't reposting this like in any moment. Like, no. I thought it was bad. And I did not think Young Bella won. I thought they both should have like were either like going to be like either Rue was going to be like, I'm saving both of you, but no, we have the cow. But she saved Young Bella because she knew the vote in theory was for Patsy. Like it didn't matter who won. They were never sending anyone home,
Right.
hopefully. And that's basically what happened. Is young Bella is saved. Patsy is so worried, and the electronic spinning wheel of like who gets to stay lands on Patsy, and she falls to the ground in relief and in just so thankful that she gets to come back for another episode of RuPaul's Drag Race UK season 7, which we will be back also to discuss next week. But Evan, any other thoughts on this episode before we move on to a happier topic?
I kind of hated this episode, Greg. I'm not gonna lie. Like, the challenge was unclear about its parameters of which it's being judged. I didn't think the queens especially brought it, especially with some of those fucking entrance looks in the workroom. It was overall, and the lip sync was terrible. It was, I think, the incorrect winner. It just wasn't great. It really was.
No.
Personally, I would have given it to page three over everyone else if we're talking about what we had to deal with here. But like, it was just a not good start because what happened last season with UK6, it was the talent show. We had Kyron Thrax winning with their incredible Susie Maitre D number. Like, it just felt like I got to know the queen so much better. We're off to a rough start.
We
We'll
are.
see. But hey, you know what? We've had other shows where the first couple episodes are kind of meh and then they ultimately redeem themselves. That doesn't usually happen here, but I'm definitely giving big season 5, season 3 vibes. Are we cursed? Is truly the UK seasons only good when it's an even numbered one? I don't know. I'm just gonna toss that out there.
You are not the first person I've heard who said this. I was
Really?
unaware of this trend, but I did not know it was like the early Star Trek movies, where every other one was good and everyone was bad.
Uh-huh.
But also I feel like maybe Canada has that problem too, but I'd have to go back and double check. But I yeah, I would love this season to just go fast. And
Yeah,
I have never been so more excited for Canada to come back than I have in a long time.
I know.
But
It'll be an even
um
numbered one, baby. We got this.
and you know what? We're not even going to tell you who we think is going to win or guess, because if you can't tell from this episode who the top queens are and who's going to be in the top 4, you're not watching you're not watching Drag Race UK enough, because they sort of telegraph it from the beginning.
Uh-huh.
Um, but let's talk about something happier, Evan. Drag Race Espana is back. Our
España! Oh my
queen, Anna
God.
Locking.
Just Anna Locking being back made me so happy. The hobbies didn't give me
So
a whole lot
happy.
this episode, I'll be honest, outside of, some nice little peekaboo in the ads
Yeah,
region.
Bigamo.
But overall, yes, Drag Race season 5, episode 1. I also feel like this is kind of actually similar to what UK is dealing with because they're coming off of what I would describe as an especially strong season.
Yep.
Because last season we were there with Espana. We had La Nina Delantro, we had Chloe Vitu, we had, of course, our incredible winner, Le Coco. We had good drama. We had
Yeah.
Angelita La Perversa. Like it's
Oh,
there
yes,
is
Angelita La
there
Perversa.
is so much good stuff happening. So I was a little worried going into this, but overall, I'm still trying to get a feel. I don't know, but overall, there's some good stuff already established. I'm very excited for what's happening.
One quick caveat for anyone listening, and we will probably bring this up multiple times during the season. This was shot almost a year ago. So they shot this season while the last season was airing. And they had not, they didn't crown a queen because they're going to do another live finale, but they hadn't, there's no, I don't know how to explain this. They got to the end of the season and did not know, look, they finished shooting the season not knowing Lococo won.
Damn.
So they haven't done their finale, but they got to the
Damn.
final episode before then, which is wild. So this is like another time. This is like, think of, just keep that in the back of your
Yes.
heads while you're watching this as the season goes on. But the
They shot this
queens come.
pre-COVID.
They did. They do a quick thing where they introduce the cast really quickly, and what's the tall Javi called again? Which Javi is he? We always it's tall Javi and baby Javi.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it's Calvo is the tall one. Ambrosie's the
Calvo.
short one. Yes.
Calvo wants everyone to see his very sexy abs when
Hmm.
he comes down, and I was like, all right, we'll take it.
Yeah.
Um,
Allegedly single. Who knows? We'll see.
Allegedly single, he might be available if
Yep.
you're in Barcelona. But anyway, the queens come in, and first up is Alexandra de Raval, and my
Jimbo.
first
I'm
thought,
sorry. Yes,
you know,
Alexandra.
I wrote, this is drag, honey. Like, this
Yes.
is
Thank you.
drag.
Thank you.
That's how you do big breasts. That's how you do it. She is 27 from El Raval. She is a cabaret showgirl diva, and she says she's a little tough. She's got a little touch of the barrio in her. Um, and she also, if as the episode goes on, is a recurring talking head. They
Hmm.
use her very often.
Hmm.
And I liked her. I liked this. I thought this was a great entrance look.
Yeah. It's just I don't know if we've seen anything like it explicitly in
Yeah.
Espana. Like we've
No.
seen some outrageous boobs from Valentine's. We've seen a couple like crazy things from Poopy before, but nothing this explicitly overly breasted and dragged up like this. And that's why I kind of was with it from the beginning. I'm like, yeah, let's go, let's go.
Absolutely. Up next was Margarita Calafata. I hope I
Uh-huh.
got the second part right. She's 32 and comes in with this sort of beautiful flowered sort of headpiece.
Yeah.
And she's already annoyed that her breastplate is smaller than Alexandra's. What did you think of this look? I thought it was good.
I
I
thought, yeah,
did.
I thought it was really good. They were upset with the way other queens were describing the look, but also, I'm the fifth member of Sex in the City. Oh, okay, sure, we can go with that. Overall, a very good look. But apparently, she starts grating on people very quickly by giving constant tours of the room. So we will
Yes.
we will get to her in a bit. Yes.
I actually loved how crazy that was. Um, Up next is Miss Bushwick 2014. Oh, I'm sorry. It's Laka Udila. And she comes in with, I thought, a very smart and political entrance. She comes in sort of as Franco, the deposed Spanish leader, and says, Franco is dead. Welcome to the reign of Laka Udila. She does look like a little bit like Hitler with her mustache.
It's so fucking weird.
And,
And you know what? Hey,
and
the editing department, by giving her the sepia tone black and white old footage filter, certainly wasn't helping with that
no.
comparison, assuredly.
And I hope she's not the Hitler of the cast. But she does say, I'm here to stage a coup, which I thought was sort of funny, and says her friends gave her her drag name because she goes, maybe, I'm a little bossy, a little loud. And I'm like, okay, we're in
Okay.
for a fun run with you.
Yeah.
Um, and she also has to just name drop, although obviously the story editors asked her, that her best friend is Paquita,
Mhm.
Paquita? Is I saying it wrong?
Petita from season
Petita,
three
yeah,
winner,
who
right?
won?
Yes.
Hornella is her partner in crime, and she's also very good friends with our past winner, Lococo. She did not know, by the way, Lococo won, she didn't know how well Lococo did at all, like at this point. Um, and then her chair falls, which I've never seen on any iteration of Drag
Kind of
Race.
great. It's kind of great. Like it's the thing where you can be so serious, but to have that level of stupid is it's just so great. It was so
It
cute.
was really good.
Yeah.
Um, Up next is
Trixie Method. Oh, sorry. Go
wait,
ahead.
how do you Ferrix?
It
How do
was,
you,
I believe they said Ferran, is the
Ferren?
way they did it because the X is kind of an A in that sense too. But yeah, you're not
Yes.
doing Ferguson. Yeah, I get Ferran was the sense that I got. But yes, very Trixie Mattel Crystal Method-esque inspired mug that she's very clearly made her brand out the gate. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say what was really interesting is is she is an archaeologist. Like she has
Yes.
a day job.
Hmm.
Also, I love when they admit they have day jobs. I think that's great. Please do that.
Yeah.
She's smart. She knows what she might seem like she's being reductive at first. I can't believe I used that twice in this podcast, but she I don't think she is. Also, in sort of a shock to me, she had the most followers on Instagram of any queen before the she has 20 she had I know she's gained some since the and I by the way I took these numbers before the episode aired
Yeah.
since Meet the Queens, but she had 28,000 followers like before the first episode. Far and above anyone else. Like far and above. I think the average was 7,000 or 8,000 and then like the other high queens are like 16. So that was interesting. Um
Yeah.
and I thought she was interesting, but again, I was a little the makeup scares me a little bit.
The thing is that she has a brand, sure, but with her entrance room, like especially like the curve of the mouth part where to get the black lip there, just
Yeah.
looked unblended. It didn't look like, on a fine line. It just felt rough in a way that was seemed to belie her experience, and it was very odd to see.
It
Yeah.
makes me scared for when she's undusting all those old things. Like she might not be very good at it. Like she might be ruining.
Listen, she said she has a job. She didn't say she's under performance review. So
Yes, that's
let's be
true.
real.
Um, Up next is Crystal Forever, who says she's 25 years old. She's not 25 years old. She's 52, I believe.
I thought that was
And she
Satin Greco. I
no,
thought she was 38.
Satin is 39. Crystal is 50. That's why she said 25. She
Blowing my
flipped
mind.
it.
Blowing my mind.
No, Crystal looks way younger than half the cast.
Yeah.
Not half, but a lot of them. She is from Venezuela. And she's a goddess. She says she does impressions, high energy on stage. And she's been around for a while, obviously doing drag for a while. And all the other queens, by the way, know her when she comes in.
Hmm.
Saying she looks very RuPaul-esque. I love this look. I thought it was great for an entrance.
I thought it was fantastic. It was sad that her second money gun malfunctioned ever so slightly. And so therefore she has to get this same edit that we're going to give Alyssa Hunter. One money gun malfunction, so therefore not gonna win the crown. That's just how it works. No challenge wins whatsoever. She looks stunning. I thought she was good, and she also brings such a good energy to the show. I was very impressed with her straight through. She's yeah.
Do we have an issue with money guns in this country or in
Because
this
you know
world?
what? You know what? Here's the thing. Same thing happened to Monet when she came in during her All-Stars run.
Yep.
Monet changes everything, and only one of them fired. Here's the thing. If you're going to get two money guns, get three, because it seems that one of them is going to fail on you. That's just advice from us. If there's any
Have one
legacy.
in the back, pull it
Yeah.
out. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Uh, Up next is Nori, and I'm just gonna say, listen, all drag is valid. We didn't say that at the beginning of this episode. As always, all drag is valid. All expression is appreciated and accepted. But girl, Nori walks in like a man. Like
Th-
it is the most butch walk, and I was whoa. Like who was the last queen? A mini, not mini yellow. Was it mini yellow last season or two seasons ago?
Yeah, Maggie Yellow, yes.
Like Meggie Yellow was more femme than anything Nori is giving. Am I crazy?
Let's go down the list. Worse than the fucking UK looks. There were cliffhangers on the fucking shoes. Like just every possible thing that could be terrible in an outfit, she managed to achieve. Like it's kind of stunning how bad this is, especially in comparison to everything else that we've literally just seen. Like it was so bad, Greg. It was
Yeah.
Nori did not do well out the gate, assuredly.
I'm gonna say this. I don't know how long Nori lasts. I did think the skid mark look was terrible, but I will say she does not. She gets the least screen time of any of the entrance people at all,
Hmm.
and not a lot of screen time in the episode. I think if you know how sometimes they make a mistake when they cast a queen.
Hmm.
I feel like this might have been a mistake that they realized very early on, but we'll see. Up next is Eva Harrington, and I am very conflicted about Eva Harrington. She comes up and, first of all, not a good way to start, rips a photo of our Lord and Savior, Carmen Farala. How dare
Why?
you?
Fucking
How
why?
She says a new queen rises, the old one just fades away. And this is my message to you, Eva Harrington. Listen, you little 26-year-old diva. You may say you are humble, but when you do that to Carmen Farala, the one, the true diva, this means war.
I
This podcast is at war against you, or at least this half of it.
and as other people noted in the confession too, it's just like, why her? There's been other. Okay, so you don't know Coco's there. Great. Okay, but you're not ripping up a photo of Sharon. You're not ripping up a photo of Petita. You just have to go to Carmen. I mean, we also. I mean, we had Drag Sephless at this point with as a winner. It just felt so odd to be this aggressive this early, and it's a shame. The look was not bad. I
No,
kind
it
of liked.
was. It was a basic ass dress. She did this in a basic ass dress that Carmen could have made herself in 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Yeah, I was disappointed.
Fair.
This is not a good tone setter, assuredly.
And then in the confessional, she's like, I'm such a humble diva. I'm so humble. What is going on? Anyway, up next is Daphne Mugler. And actually, I thought she was really interesting. She comes out and she says, um, I think she says it's Act Five. Did I get this right? She says something like, uh, it's not, it's another, I don't know why I wrote that, but she
Something
said,
like that. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. And oh no, she's doing like Act Five. She's announcing her presentation. The Black Swan enters the stage. She's doing a dramatic sort of reading.
Yeah.
Um, she is
She's 20.
20 years old.
20.
I loved her headpiece reveal with the it coming up to show her face. I thought that was really smart. She is smart. She's a dancer. She's very cute, and she's
She's smart.
20.
She's a dancer. Phrases that don't often go together, but we'll give
Whoa.
her.
Whoa. First of all, she's a ballet dancer, so they make them go to school.
Exactly.
Um, but yeah, what did you think of Daphne?
It's weird because her look by itself wasn't amazing. Like it was a pretty standard black dress. It was also weird because they always do the little shoe cam on here, and it felt like her heels
Yeah.
seemed to be ill-fitting for her, which I thought was doubly
Mhm.
weird. But overall, she still had a good personality. When she popped, when she said "Hi, Queens," when she was excited to see everyone, there was such an enthusiasm there. I don't know how well she's going to do on the season, but spoiler alert, she does pretty okay on this episode. I'll say that.
She does. And up next is Nyx, who's 28.
Arancha
Uh,
Castilla-La Mancha reincarnated.
production really likes her. She had a
Yes, they do.
lot of talking
Yes,
heads.
they do.
And she's international. She's the one trans queen so far on this season. I believe there's only one.
Hmm.
But there's a ton of non-binary queens as we learned later
Hmm.
on. And she comes in, I think does she say in her entrance look, I smell a stench of testosterone?
Yes, she does. She is unafraid to read the guys out the
Yes.
gate, assuredly. She is a little bit, kind of like two little, slightly aggressive things right next to each other. It's just kind of
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
It was interesting. But she comes in and she already knows Margarita and she knows Crystal. They like immediately go to her, they know her. But she lives in Copenhagen and
Hmm.
she is not that she eventually we learn later on this is going to be her first performance of any kind in Spain when she does her talent show. Um,
Which she did touch on in our Meet the Queens when we did that.
yes.
But yeah, it's still it's just a fascinating thing to do. Yeah.
And pay attention. They drop a little moment where Laka is sort of pressed and says, I don't know you.
Hmm.
Like in her confessional, which I thought was okay. This is for
Hmm.
later. Interesting. But up next, Bianca Del Rio. I'm sorry, Satin Greco, 39. She's a legend. We find out this whole episode makes us realize how big a legend she is in the Spanish scene. I was unaware of her being this big a legend, but I guess she is. Um, and all I'm gonna say is she might be a legend, and I do love her. I loved her in this episode. But I saw a beard, baby. Like that was some William Beard right there.
She won a James Beard Award.
Yes.
I will say, this black flamenco dress with all of the details, all those garish details, was good. her makeup style feels old school in such a distinctive way. Where there's also
Yes.
like this thing where you talk about beard. I just sometimes think there's not enough beat on the mug sometimes
Yeah.
for her, and we see this throughout the episode too. She's just it's weird. She loves dirt tones. She loves a lot of like kind of lower scale
Yes.
thing. Like it's just and so there's a weird dirtiness to her, which is not necessarily something I'm in love with, but it's so different from all the pretty polished Sagittaria-esque queens that we've had before that like it's something's kind of pulling me towards it in a way. I'm very, very fascinated.
I think what surprised me the most about it is if she was a younger queen, I'd not even if she was like in her early 30s or 10 years younger, I'd be like, "Oh, you're a cabaret queen. You're lighting for the stage, those harsh lights. That's why you're doing this." And you don't know how to maybe don't, but aren't experienced in doing makeup for television or for a brighter stage. And I was shocked that she's at this age and has not done enough television appearances to know that she should change her mug for the lighting. That was the surprise to me. I still loved her. They are the queens who are in the room are literally shocked. They are
Yeah.
like, who let her in? They call her the Daenerys Targaryen of Spanish drag. She is the queen of dragons. She is coming to kill them all. And she has been doing drag for 21 years, and she's 18 years old, and she does impressions. She is a force, and what I loved about her the most is she calls herself a faggot. She has no problem doing it. She's comfortable in who she is and in her own skin, and that can get you super far. And I'm already a fan. Even before we've even like seen her in the episode.
Right. 100% agree. Very, very intrigued by everything she has to bring and offer. Yeah.
Up next is already Evan's favorite queen, and I'm just making that decision without him saying anything. Is Denimbola? How do we say
Yeah, I think no, you're right. Denaboli Manal.
Denimbola now? What a look! I loved it. The stones, just so good. Describes themselves as weird and alternative, and that they don't play a character. That this is them. This is
Hmm.
who they are, and they're just expressing their artistic self.
Which is cool and which is great. And if I see one more fucking ruffled collar from them after this episode, I'm going to lose my mind. I do not mind anyone having a signature whatsoever, but at some point we need to why do you wear those dots on your face? I don't know. Like it's just like at some point we need to see something slightly different. We'll see. But yeah, overall still very, very big fan of them, just straight up. Yeah.
Yeah, so good. And then Supreme comes in, looking
Uh
pretty. No. Oh wait. Oh, did I miss? Oh, of course. We had one more queen. I'm so sorry. La Escandalo.
not a scandalo.
26, and they're all the queens are like, oh, she's the one on Twitter that like, makes all the like sassy comments and does all this stuff. And I'm like, did they cast her because she's gonna like help on social media, or is she a good queen? Like, what's
Right,
going
because
on?
also this dress and also this mug, it's like we saw better in the fucking promo. She had the giant boxing glove stuff in the promo that was interesting. That was great. I don't know what the fuck this is. This is not that. Go back to UK. Like that's this. That's where
Yeah.
this look comes teleported from. This.
I I she's not taking herself seriously, and my I wrote immediately feels like first out. Like,
Hmm.
but maybe not. Who
Yeah.
knows? We'll find out.
I mean, we did see
Um,
Nori, so who knows?
yeah. Uh, but then Supreme comes in. So sorry, I got ahead of
Yeah.
myself.
No,
And we find out,
we have a room mail first, and for some reason,
oh,
Supreme has decided to wear the worst fucking outfit I've ever seen in
yeah,
my
that was not
life.
great. That was not.
I
It
don't
was
know
a
what happened
little
there. Anyway,
ugly.
yes, Supreme comes in a much better suit.
Yes. But what I'm more excited about is there's more prizes for the winner this year. Supreme immediately goes in. Not only are they getting a free year of Crash Cosmetics, they are getting a whole year supply of Recovo fabrics, which
Low
for the Queen,
key,
that's
that's
amazing.
fucking awesome. I think that is such a good add-on to the prize package. That
Yeah.
is so cool. Yeah.
A crown, a scepter, and they have almost doubled the prize. It is now 50,000 euros, which is pretty good.
You
Like,
can do
not
something with
complaining. It's
that.
pretty good. Let's do something
Something
with
with
that.
that. Yeah.
And considering they've done this for this season, I don't think we need to be worried that Drag Race España is going anywhere anytime soon. And actually,
Right.
the judges sort of hint to that later on. on the panel talking about how much they've done and how they hope to be there as long as the Golden Girls. So I that was exciting to me. That made me relief sigh. No matter whatever else happens, we may always have Drag Race Espana for a while. But then Supreme says they're gonna do a skinny dip. They're gonna go skinny dipping, and I'm like, and I was sort of excited that they might get to water, but no. Evan, what are they actually doing?
It's a ball pit. Oh boy. What joy, what joy. But also, it's not only a ball pit, it's also a mini challenge that's not a challenge because what are they doing? It's another twist. The thing is, I'm not sure if you know this about Spanish culture, but there's this thing called the lucky cow. It's this thing that has helped them through. Wait, I'm getting this wrong. I think it's no, it's they're leading with their hearts this season. So every queen gets a half a heart. Now, I try. I explained the lucky cow thing. Greg, what does the hearts mean this season?
I don't know. I am very confused. I wrote I'm confused.
This is so
I
complicated. Listen, the mini queen thing from last season was its
right.
own thing that they had to do when they had the like one person had the queen and they brought it out at the start of the lip sync and then they were able to save themselves, which was Labella Vampy. But here it's like, okay, every queen has a half heart, and when a queen gets eliminated, they can give them their half heart, and if they have a whole heart, they have to use it on the day to save another queen or themselves from lip syncing or from being in the bottom, but they have to use it on the day, otherwise they can't. And it was a whole series of things where it's like I need to see this in practice because they explained it once. They explained it once, and then Dina Bola explains it a second time to us, and I still don't get it. So we'll see what happens when it actually plays out.
Here's my question. Why does anyone need the other half of the heart? If you're giving it to save to somebody, shouldn't that just save them? Why do they need I feel like the producers thought it's a visual trick, it'll be fun,
Well,
and it
because it's
shows
for the
love.
it's for the next week because the next week that person might be in the top, and then they can use that power to save someone in the bottom.
But why couldn't it just be like one like why does it have to be a half a heart? Like why
I
can't
don't
it just be
They have enough money to pay the Queens 50,000 euros, but not anyone to explain what this game is. So we'll figure it
all
out.
I know is they literally have the Queens in confession say that they understand it, and I think they're all lying. I don't
I
think the
think
Queens know what's going on. I think they're confused and they'll figure it out later.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly, fully.
Um, so it's time though for the talent show. Because Supreme
Yeah.
says that's what we're gonna do this week, and they're all excited. And they also find out that this week's guest judge is Amia. I think I said that right,
Yeah, I think
Amia.
so. Yeah.
Who is a pop star in Spain. I'll say this: Amia is only has 856,000 followers on Instagram, but as of yesterday, she has the number 20 song on Spotify in Spain. So she is legit. She's a name. People like listening to her music. So congratulations, Amia. You are even more popular now than you were when you shot this last November.
Absolutely. It's
Uh,
the small things that go a long way. Yes.
but before the talent show starts, we meet Supreme in her full decked out dress, which is a little pop arty, unexpected. Didn't love it. What did
I
you
will
think?
say before we get to
Oh,
that, real
sorry.
quick, it's
I'm getting ahead
okay.
of myself.
It's okay. On the next day, Nyx does come into the workroom and says, "Bring in my boys
Oh.
and the NBs," and we find the definition between the trans and the male presenting and the
Oh, yes.
Hota Kara Hota's Tiger is there, and very briefly, Nyx talks about performing in nervousness about performing in Spain for the first time and not Copenhagen, and Margarita talks about doing a web series with kids from her tough neighborhood. And when they did the web series, she always played gay characters as a way of dealing with her internalized homophobia, and I thought that was all very interesting and genuinely compelling, truth be told.
And then she had some interesting part of that story where she was like, and then when I ended that series, I told they didn't want her to do drag or something, or she felt
Yeah,
like she
like this, like
couldn't.
you were always doing the joke version of it. Oh, you want to do it for real now? I was kind of a little bit unaware of what that sense was, but it
It felt
was
like her friends were judging her for then wanting to really do drag, and she was like, "Screw it, I want to do it. I'm gonna do it."
yeah, yeah. So very interesting. It's still a good story. I was very compelled by it, but
Yeah.
yeah. But either way, talent
And but wait,
show.
really quickly, just to go back because I missed this. I feel was it four queens who said they were non-binary or five? It was like a
I think
ton
it
of them
was
at the end.
five. I think it was
Yeah.
actually five. Yeah,
Okay. So the talent show, Supreme comes out and I didn't love this dress.
did
It was
not
a
love
little,
this.
yeah.
Did not.
But Anna Locking, Anna, I miss you. Even though you shot this a year ago, you're here with us now, and even though it's watching a time capsule, thank you for being with us.
Hmm.
And then the hobbies, a time when they loved each other. Oh no, I'm
That's
sorry.
preserved forevermore.
Forevermore. Okay, are you ready for this? We're gonna go through this as quickly as we can.
Yeah.
Up first, Crystal Forever, and she does an old school 90s dance number with a fiery book that opens up, and this, you know what this screams, Evan? This screams Circuit Party 2006 White Party Palm Springs, and I'm not mad at it. This is boom, 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 boom. She's gonna get gigs out of this.
No, she will. And here's the thing I will say about this is that at the end of this episode, there is a definitive winner. But let me tell you, if we're talking about the talent show portion specifically,
Yes.
you know who won this thing? It was all these backup dancers. Because let me tell
Yeah.
you, every single one of these numbers, the choreography is complex and
Yeah.
different and strange. I don't know how much time they had to do it, but Jesus fucking Christ, they do so fucking well. The dancers knock it out of the park. Just quick props to them, absolutely
Yeah.
destroyed it, and it was proved here in Crystal's number, which was just an energy explosion.
Absolutely. Up next was Eva Harrington, and she starts her cabaret singing in English. I thought was a curious choice. Then she translates to Spanish. Here's the thing: her dancing was awkward, but I would say her singing, and if your husband is there, he can also, because he has told me he knows so much about singing, that I thought her singing was good, especially because she was singing live, if I was
Yes.
correct. Yeah.
Yeah, she was, and I just couldn't hear her singing over that fucking terrible red wig she was wearing. Because Jesus Christ, what is with her looks? You're gonna rip up Carmen Farala's photo and then give us fucking this? Eat
Yeah.
shit. Her
Also,
singing.
why did she have a carrot on her ass? I didn't really get that.
Worldwideteapodcast at gmail.com. Please include the subject of the email, Eva Harrington's carrot butt, and we will get to that promptly if you happen to have any context or
So,
information.
up next was La Escandalo. I'm going to be really honest. I was shocked she was not in the top. It was close for the top, but she is doing a fun nursery rhyme remix it's a very sex positive
Sex
song,
positive, yeah.
and the panel is losing their minds. The choreography was great. The backup dancers were great. I thought she could have been top. Maybe it was too close to call and she just barely got there. I thought this was one of the best numbers, even though we do not have a translation, wow, of what she's actually singing. What did you think?
I thought the ghost of Magnolia Crawford living onto her insanely sharp nose
Wow.
contour, I thought that was incredible. I
Whoa.
thought that was maybe she was out of the top by a nose. I don't know. But like for some reason,
Whoa.
as soon as I narrowed in on the fact that it's just this little strip of white and then like it's just so sharp, I'm like, oh my God, I can't unsee it. Like I was so distracted, which is a
Mm,
shame because she really did knock it out. It was a fantastic number. I don't know if she's gonna make it into the top four or anything.
mm.
I think the Scandalo will maybe do a little bit better than we think. I think she might do,
Yes,
especially after her terrible workroom entrance. She definitely proved me wrong with this.
agreed. Up next was Daphne Mugler, and she is doing ballet in toe shoes. And if you, most men have not, if you're a man or a cis man watching this episode,
If you're a cis
uh,
man, our
right,
apologies.
our apologies. But toe shoe ballet is in point shoes is just painful. My sister did it for years. It almost destroyed her feet. It is not easy in any way. So when someone like Brooklyn does it, or someone like Daphne is doing here, it is not easy. And she does it very, very well. And she does it to a mix of, it starts off with some classical
Hmm.
music, really well done. And then she segues to Britney Spears' Toxic. And I'm just gonna say, considering the other song that's sampled in this episode, budget. Like
Yeah,
they have a budget. This has to be cleared for worldwide. This
yeah.
is not cheap. I thought it was impressive. What did you think?
I thought it was so good because it wasn't just that. This isn't the only dramatic remix thing. It was like the string violin version that was used in the trailer for Promising Young Woman, I believe. Like it was that
Oh,
level remix. But it was just so good. I don't think I've ever heard a Britney song used in a talent show number. So I was very impressed. And the thing that really got me was her actual acrobatics because like we've seen ballet, we've seen point when she did the actual arabesque, it was actually very, very good. She got significant lift on there. But when she was was doing the fish in the air movement with her body with the dancers, I was just like knocked out. She absolutely on the stage, truly stunned.
And full disclosure, while I was watching this, I was Shazamming many songs in Spanish, hoping to find out what they were so I could then get the lyrics because we weren't
Hmm.
getting them. But Margarita is up, and she is actually performing her number to a song called, it was one of the few that came up on Shazam. Glitz at the Ritz by Jules Gala. It's a remix of a 1930s song. It's only from 2016. It sounds very mid-aughts, like, oh, early part of the
Hmm.
century, but it's not. And she does spinning plates to a number, and she reveals her dress. But one plate falls, and uh, it comes back to haunt her. I still thought it was great, even though this
Bitch,
plate falls. I
it
did not
was so good.
think she needed to be penalized or sort of like deemed lower because of this. I thought it was a great, great number, and at least she was doing a real, it's all talent. She
Yeah.
was doing a unique talent that other queens weren't doing, and it's hard. Like it's super hard to do that. What did you think?
Same, 100%. Even with a minor fizzle at the end that they really wanted to drive in on. So talented, such an engaging performance. I was overall very very taken by this. It kind of she's I think I would like to hope that she's one to watch this season.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Up next was Nyx, and she made the intriguing choice to do spoken word. Not really sure, and it was like a roast spoken word, but not really a comedy, like number, but like or a comedy stand up, but sort of a roast, but sort of not. Um, I and through it she is doing a clothing reveal. Her third reveal is a corset that's not tight enough. I didn't really understand what she was doing. She was making the judges laugh and she was making
Mhm.
the other queens laugh. But when we eventually get to the judging, they sort of criticized it a little bit. What did you think?
I just didn't get it. And again, this is the one of the things where subtitles obviously certainly help when they finally are inserted
Yeah.
into the episode. But also, the whole thing was ill-fitting because it felt like a number that didn't truly know what it wanted to be. It wanted to be a fashion thing. It just wanted to be like multiple things at once, and I don't think it did any of them especially well. I mean, she's again still got some laughs out of it, but eh, I got it. That's kind of the sense I got out of
Speaking of
it.
Denimbola comes out next, and she's doing an art performance piece. And
Yeah.
I love the concept of this. The best part of it was her and the dancers and their movements at the beginning, which was very not drag race, very legit, impressive modern dance. And then she spray paints herself. And at this point, listen, if this was 2017 and we hadn't had a lot of international seasons and it was just US, this would be really groundbreaking and interesting and cool. We have seen this a number of times. I
Hmm.
did not think this was as groundbreaking and interesting as she thought it was. What did you think?
I still liked it overall. It was the thing where it was a whole thing about trying to find your authentic self. It was a whole thing about just trying to find your genuine person within this realm. And I thought that it seemed to have a more dramatic impact. And I think it was a nice little contrast for some of the other numbers that we got. I think the payoff could have been better instead of just spray painting yourself. I think there could have
Yeah.
been even more elements because the dance part was truly astonishing. And again, credit to the dancers on that. I mean, I liked it, but it definitely felt like, okay, this is safe. That was the sense that I got at the end.
Up next was Nori, and again, shocked they cleared this. To Destiny's Child Survivor
The dramatic cinema
remix.
version. Yeah.
Yeah, remix. She had teased that she was going to do this, I think, in the workroom.
Hmm.
She is taking a piece of fabric and start sewing. And by the way, a US queen already did this before, I think, on a previous All Stars. Am I right?
Her name was Raja O'Hara, and it was All Star 6. She was in the top that week. I literally, in my notes, I have Raja O'Hara, your sacrifice is not in vain. Because
Um,
when you kick it out the park that easy, that first, anything that you do afterwards is a pale imitation. And buddy, this is a pale imitation.
And
Assuredly.
so she goes behind the screen after
For eight
doing
minutes.
her one, and clearly they're making it clear like she's gone beyond time. Like this is
Yeah.
not what it's supposed to be. It's taking longer. And she comes out, and the dress is fine, except except that she's holding it. She's
Yeah.
holding it there, which she's not supposed to be doing. Um And what did you think of that, Evan? As I go and get as we continue recording this, my laptop is about to lose power, so I'm going to plug it in while you give me your response to
My
this.
response on it. Listen, it was the nice setup was very cute. This whole like someone stole all of her stuff and then she only has this jacket and she has to put something together. But it was just awkward. It was just silly. It was just like again, it's the kind of thing where again, as a talent show, you're being on television. You think that someone would maybe rehearse this a little bit more. But when she was standing there and there was kind of dramatic wind blowing her wig a little bit, it looked so sloppy. It was bad, bad, bad. It was I didn't have a strong opinion of her at the start of this episode, and that continues to this point now. Ah, you know what? Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Up next.
Farhan.
Farhan. Okay. So here's my thing. I love that you could see her eye color, that she took the
Yep.
contacts out. That was a nice touch. She does a rap that the judges love and Supreme is just going nuts over. And she turns herself into a mechanic. She does a hair reveal. They all love it. I would love to be able to tell you what she's rapping about and how
Hmm.
funny it is and how great. But I'm going to be really honest. I have no idea because I do not speak Spanish, and there are no subtitles for this. Evan, do you know what she was talking about?
I do not. It was something apparently dealing with comedy, and it was a little bit gender bendy, and that's what it was. I will say her mullet wig and just kind of this dumpy look that she had on for the male mechanic thing was such a contrast to what we normally see, and I kind of fucked with it a little bit. She stood out for sure. But most importantly, every queen on the panel, every queen in the head count, they say that this is a bop. This needs to be on Spotify. This needs to be the
Yep,
hit. This is going to be the breakout equivalent to, say, Peach or Mirage or any of those other viral things. They think it's an absolute smash. But yeah, she did good. She was a very pleasantly surprised me.
absolutely. Up next was Satin Greco, and she does something none of the other queens. She does an old school um, ballad lip sync number. Um, I tried to find the song. It was not on Shazam, so I'm not really sure what the song was. But she proves that she is a dramatic lip syncer, in the vein of who could probably do anything, in the vein of Kennedy Davenport, Latrice Royale. Um, I'm trying to think of the other U.S. queens who could just do any lip sync and just absolutely kill it. But I was impressed. I got her reputation from this number and understood what she was doing.
Yeah.
I was impressed. What did you think?
Same. I think it was like Loro Parque or Loro Parque, something like that, when they mentioned it as the artist that she was covering. And it was just, if again, old school is such a definitive way to do it because it wasn't just that the song was old, it's just that this is dramatic, as the makeup is very, like, again, barely there, very dirty, just very physical. And a lot of queens were talking about, like, ooh, I'm feeling goosebumps on here. She
Yeah.
really went for dramatic impact on there. And again, I think I appreciated it. It's one of the things where, to be fully candid, Greg, I didn't get that same sense just seeing it. It seemed to work so much better
Mm,
in the room than it did, at least for us as, silly, silly American journalists here.
yeah.
But I mean, I still like her overall. And I think if I rewatch it a couple times, I think I'll probably see a little bit more of why that impact was. I still enjoyed it. It just didn't hit me as much as some of the other numbers that we saw.
Understood.
Hmm.
Up next is Laka Udila. And she is singing live.
Hmm.
Um, she has some problems with the song. My problem was I loved the dress. I loved the style. I thought her singing got rougher as it went along.
Hmm.
But I thought what was more distracting was I thought the dancer's choreography was more interesting than what she was doing.
She because the whole point is that like she just came off as low energy. She just didn't have a big crux to what she was doing. She was just there and moving about. She again, I don't want to be that guy. She did kind of remind me of your all-time favorite queen from the UK, Starlet, a little bit, in just the
Oh,
kind of way that she just kind of like moving about the world and just kind of dealing with it. Like it was fine, but it just like it didn't have. We already saw some live singing earlier, and even though I truly, truly did not like the wig that Eva Harrington was wearing, it was still more engaging singing than what Lula was doing here.
well,
Like,
yeah, she gave a better vocal performance
yeah.
than Laka did, and I thought actually for Laka, she took a chance by singing
Hmm.
it live. She probably should have pre-recorded it like some of the other
Yep.
queens and done it that way. Also, I thought this should have been low. I just thought she should have been in the bottom three. I was
Agreed.
shocked
Pure
she was safe.
agreement. Pure agreement. Pure agreement.
And up next was someone who was smartly pre-recorded her song was Alexandra de Reval. And she lip syncs an original song, and I don't remember the song, but she ends it with smearing chocolate all over herself with the dancers, which I thought was sort of fun. What did you
Yeah.
think?
I did literally the same thing. A burlesque comedy song that ends with a cake mukbang is what I wrote. And I don't think we're wrong about that. It was interesting.
No.
It was fun. It was safe. Let's be real. It was safe.
Yes. Up next, it's time for the runways. They go right into it. And here's my thing, Evan, really quickly, because I we don't want to be here for 3 hours for this podcast, but it's two-faced realness is
Yeah.
what the prompt is.
Yep.
I am very confused on what some of these queens thought that meant because I
It got
feel like
interpreted so many different ways. Yes.
and and I didn't even think some of the interpretations were real interpretations. But let's start off with it. Alexandra Derival comes out. She does a reveal and she has shitty panties. How is that two-faced? What is happening? This was the only part of the episode where I was like, I love this is an amazing episode. I'm loving all these queens. There was a disconnect somewhere.
100%. Some terrible thing. I hated it. I really hated it, truth be told, just straight up. Ugh.
So bad. Up next, and by the way, the outfits, here's the thing. The outfits were good. It's just it confusing what's going on with
What the
the
concept
runway.
again, it's the thing where if you look at the whole package, can you guess what the runway is? If you told me this thing was two-faced realness, fucking wouldn't get
No.
it out of that. Not at
Now,
all.
I would have figured it out for Denimbola
Oh,
with
yeah,
her masks. They're beautifully made. And it's she didn't know at the time, but
of
I sort of
course.
feel bad for her that Suki Doll we just saw a couple weeks ago blowing anyone away from ever doing this challenge again. But I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was very good for what, and the outfit was really great too. It was
Yeah.
like stylish and color combination, like really well done.
Absolutely. I just
Um,
one more time. We've seen it
sure.
twice now. Please, no more ruffled collars going forward. That is what I want
I
to ask of you. We've seen it twice. Let's keep going.
I I think it's her thing. I think it's like Bianca Del Rio in the one dress that she makes 10 times. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Evan. I
It's
feel your pain. Up next is Laka, and she does two reveals. Both outfits are good. I love the zipper boots.
the
This,
golden zipper boots were so fucking great that I wish the rest of that top almost was as good. It was still good, but those boots were just such a takeaway.
but it's a reveal to another look. How the fuck is this two-faced? I don't understand at all.
Well, I had to face and look at it, so I think I got to do that twice.
I
That's
guess,
the
yeah.
only thing I can say.
Uh, Up next is
And
Daphne Mugler.
Daphne, and then Daphne. Ah, how is this Two-Face?
I
She's a
don't get it.
tree. She's a tree, Greg.
She says she repressed herself.
Oh,
This is about her being repressed, and then the tree now reveals herself. I don't get it
well,
at
then
all.
she takes off the tree and reveals basically a bar
Yep,
outfit that she's wearing.
yep, it's a bodysuit. It's a bodysuit.
Anyway, she's
Um,
in the top this week. Spoilers.
she's in the top. Up next is a fantastic outfit that the judges criticized for absolutely no reason because they just wanted her to be in the bottom. Uh,
Agree.
Margarita has this fantastic
This
cacti
like
dress.
abstract cactus look with the square head, and it had proportions and this like textured pleating
So
across it.
good.
It was cool. It was great. When it turned into just kind of like a standard flower dress as part of the reveal, the second face or whatever, like it wasn't as impressive. It was still well made, but it was definitely the cactus was the focal point for me of these outfits.
And also, I do feel bad for her because the daisies were small, but they were sparkling. They didn't pop on television as much, but I'm still sort of shocked.
Yeah.
Um, up next is Satin Greco, and this was fantastic. This sort of made sense for Two-Faced.
Hmm.
She comes out as the Heavenly Mother, and then she turns into a sort of Jesus. The one thing I wrote is no one could do this on Italia. Like this would be
Yes.
blasphemous. You would be sent to jail.
Penis. Penis. My goodness.
Did
Yeah.
she show her penis?
Oh, it was right there on
Oh my
screen. It
God.
wasn't even in a thong. It wasn't even a thing. It was just kind of there. Now they did cut around it a little bit, but I was like, is that? Oh, it is. And really later during the lip sync, she puts on an actual like mini thong thing. But yeah, she's
Yes.
actually. It was out there. I was kind of stunned by the boldness.
Um, I thought it was bold and great. I thought it showed that she's not just this like flamingo sort of queen. I
100%.
was I was into it.
Yeah.
Um, Up next is Nori. Oh
Mhm.
Lord, she is muscle. She's lifting like weights, and then she turns into a warrior. So I don't understand. I mean, the outfits are fun, but I
I like
wrote,
the hand bra thing, even though it is so low on her chest that it
yeah,
just kind of like drags down. There's no like overlay. It's just kind of like hangs down, so it's just bare shoulder. It was certainly a point of view was expressed. I could see like the whole idea, like when I'm in this form, I'm the most strong. Like I could almost see the message behind it, but it was still rough. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, Evan, in a couple of years, are we gonna get like some like mini documentary about how we all misunderstood Nori and about how she was a true artist? Because I'm really confused. But up next is Farron, and she says in her voiceover again that she's an archaeologist who is showing her other face as a drag queen. She's sort of coming out in a like a archaeologist outfit or
Yeah.
work outfit, and I'm like, okay, so that's at least the challenge. It's two
Right.
versions of herself. Like, I get it. What did you think?
the it's a little bit tough though because like the archaeology look was the better of the two looks. When she comes out into the suit that actually has her print on it, that felt cheap in a way. Now the one thing that
Yeah,
in the critiques the judges say that like in that runway you weren't walking with confidence. I didn't get that sense at all. She seemed to be very confident in the way that
I
she was
agree.
walking. It was just the look just felt underwhelming from what she was revealed to. Yeah.
But I thought at least was the challenge. It
Yeah.
made sense. Up next is Crystal Forever, and she did do the
She
challenge.
did the prompt.
She did the prompt. She has a version of herself that we don't know is her back, but it's her back, and it's a copy. It's a face of her, and then she turns around and she's two-faced because she's also a female impersonator, and she's doing Cher.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it just makes me, and I will say, I'm sure when they recorded this somewhere in San Diego,
That
Chad Michaels felt a disturbance in the force. Like
yeah.
something must have shook in her apartment. She must have felt something rattle. But I thought it looked great, and I thought her share looked pretty good.
Yeah, I think about my critique is similar to what I would say with Maya Iman LePage, which is I'm great. I thought she did a good job. I thought it was fantastic. Yeah, it was really fun. I could get the prompt out of this.
Okay. So I'll give Eva Harrington credit. She's got a mask at least on top of her face. She figured out the two-face part. Uh, the hair is fun. The first outfit is fun, and then it reveals to a less interesting dress. But it was a good reveal. I wrote the wig is eh. What did you
So
think?
yeah, she went from imp to princess, I think was kind of the idea that it has. The problem is that her imp look was so good. Like it was
Yeah.
genuinely, I was genuinely impressed given everything else she's fucking shown this episode. I was genuinely stunned by that. And honestly, the princess look that she turned into, I agree it's less interesting. It was pretty all right, but that flat fucking wig, that flat black hair just slicked back, just did nothing. It just kind of took it kind of brought the wind
Yeah.
out of the sails, especially when you go from this triangular thing that she was wearing initially to that. It just felt so I mean, again, this is the best thing that she's worn so far in this episode that we've seen. I'm still not on board, but at least there's promise.
I think my big thing with Eva is for someone who's so confident that she is really there's a style aesthetic that's missing there. Like
Mhm.
she needs a little bit more. But up next, last but not least, or no, almost last but not least, La Scandalo comes in a big fuzzy like gigantic fuzzy teddy bear, rainbow teddy bear, in a Jessica Rabbit dress. I do not understand.
It is
I am like, what? It's fun, but it has nothing to do with Two-Faced, and there's no reveal. It's just this.
there's no two-face about this unless it's just like, oh, by the way, I'm a furry. Like that's the only other thing that could potentially be happening. And again, Jessica Rabbit, she can't actually do Jessica Rabbit for I'm sure copyright reasons, but it's just kind of there. The dress almost feels tacked on. Like it's bold. It is bold. I will say that. If we're talking about people who've done furry-esque looks on the runways, nothing will ever be better, of course, than season 13 when we had our incredible winner come out in her furry fox outfit during
Yeah,
Simone, when she just absolutely embodied the fuck out of that. So, unfortunately, that is what I will hold any and all mascot and fursuit style drag presentations to. And while interesting and bold, this does not live up to that standard that was set, in my humble opinion.
But finally, last but not least, Evan, Nyx comes out. I don't even remember what she wore, but I wrote she goes from sweet and girlish to a bit hardcore. Like,
Yes.
what was it?
So she starts out with kind of this princess dress, and she has hairspray that she's kind of moving around, but then she
Oh,
rips it off into this like black and green, like she has this hair that's
oh
kind of like
yes.
almost
Oh, it was
toxic.
bad.
But then she has this top that just feels like pasted on. It just is the whole. I just wrote the whole thing is just not good. Like it's
No.
just there are two bits. Again, it's a reveal, not necessarily two phase, but there are two portions to it. But neither portion is good. I could say more positive things about Eva Harrington's Hanwei at this point, which is not good for Nyx. I'm sorry.
No.
Nyx and Nori really fucked up this entire episode. It's
They
so
did.
bad. It's really bad, Greg.
They really did. But somehow we're not that fucked over. So up next, so basically Supreme pulls out Alexandra, Denambola, Laka, Wyshot should have been low. Crystal, Ava, and La Escandalo, and says, "You are safe." I am assuming La Escandalo potentially could have been on the high, but I guess her runway killed her because it just was bad.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, not good.
that's the only
Uh,
explanation. Yeah.
that's the only explanation. So they do some really quick. We should just go really quickly over their critiques. The one things that I sort of took away from all of it was they loved Daphne. They thought that Margarita that her slip with the plate what made a difference. And I'm like, not to be low. I still
Not
thought
to
she
be in the
was
bottom
sick. It
fucking
was so
three.
good. Yeah, not to be
Yeah.
bottom three. I thought Anna was being super tough on her runway, and
Yeah.
Anna is normally not. I thought that was shocking.
Yeah.
Anna, I love you, but I don't know what was going on there. They love Satin. By the way, we should totally. Satine is a hobbies queen.
Hmm.
They love their old school. And by the way, I love that they love old school queens. I love that they love them. Remember, they loved Poopy. They love Sharon. This is their. They love this. They
Hmm.
respect this so much, and they love her. And Anna is emotional about the
Hmm.
runway, like literally, like getting into tears about what Satine did. Nori, they said it was a fantastic idea, but it needed to be perfected, and they didn't think had enough presence in their number. Farron, Baby Hobby loved it and called it one of the highlights of the night. And then they again criticized the look a little bit, saying that it just didn't like do what they thought it was going to do. And then Nyx, they said the jokes were good, but it needed a punchline, and that it didn't tell the judges enough about her.
Yes.
Um, and then again, once again, I still don't understand why Luca wasn't in the bottom. But I'm pro Luca. I just thought Luca should have been in
Like
the bottom.
Agudita.
I
Well,
thought she
and then
got
in
a
the workroom,
pass.
she's asking people if they thought she was going to be in the bottom. Like she was
Yeah,
right about that. Like, are you thinking I missed it? So like I don't know, she's aware of how people are feeling.
yeah.
This is unusual, right?
So we quickly find out. Farron is high. Margarita is low. Farron is high. She's safe. She gets to go to the back room. Margarita, I'm sorry, you're low, but you are safe.
Hmm.
Uh, Nori, I'm so sorry. You are, we didn't love you, but you are safe. Nyx, I'm sorry, we didn't love you, but you are safe. Oh my gosh, we aren't eliminating anyone. We're just having a lip sync for your leg. Oh, sorry, a lip sync for the win. Almost
Wow,
legacy.
that lucky cow really helped out, didn't
It
it?
really did. It's a lip sync for the victory. And I am not sure either one of these queens are prepared, but I am wrong.
Yeah.
So the song is Corazon Contento by Marisol. And if you were to just hear this song before the lip sync, you would think they were giving Satine a win. You would think this was
100%. 100%
one
yes.
100% her. And what happened, Evan?
The thing is that during the lip sync, I thought they both were doing a pretty good job, all considered. But I thought that Daphne Mugler, when she started doing a little bit more pop, she did a little more stunts. She actually did a pretty good job capturing the energy. I was actually impressed by how well she did a good job embodying it. Because I am in full agreement. I thought it was going to be Satine all the way. But what was your take on what Satine did during the lip sync?
I thought Satine did what Satine did. I just thought Daphne stole it.
Yeah.
I just thought I thought they were both great. I think if Satine were to look back and look at the because she's in the context of the lip sync, you can't always see what's going on. When she saw this today or saw the video of it for the first time, she probably realized, oh, I didn't dance enough. I was too like in the voice of the song. I needed to move around. She is so smart that she would probably have redone it a different way. So I and by the way, she was super happy for Daphne to win. I think she
100%.
was just happy she was in the high. She knows it's a long game. She knows
You're not going to win
it's
every single thing
yeah.
out the gate. That's totally understood. Right.
Yeah. I'd rather be high than safe.
And also, again, like the way that they hugged right at the end, the way that there
Yeah.
was just like such genuine affection for them, it just felt like I think there's going to be some shadiness that goes in here, but as far as I can tell, even with the existence of Eva Harrington, I'm not getting Angelita La Perversa style
No.
bitterness, anything out of it, at least at this point. It seems to be they are all pretty well in it together right at the moment.
So, Evan, now that you've seen the first episode of Drag Race España season 5, who is winning Drag Race España? Who is getting the next crown?
I mean, truth be told, the thing is that like as you and I know, we know how the judges are. We've seen how far Kelly Roller made it. We know how well the Javi's favorites tend to do. I do think Satin Greco has an extremely good shot of
Yeah.
taking it, and it's not going to be without a little bit of competition. Because I do think I Daphne Mugler is so young. I would be surprised if they went that direction. But at the same time, I don't know. I could be wrong. I do think Crystal Forever might also last pretty long in the competition. We'll see how it works out, but that's my thoughts. What are yours?
I will say, I think Satine has a great shot. I think Daphne has a great shot. They have not crowned a super young winner in this franchise yet.
Correct.
So I think we could be seeing a preview of the finale. Also, they have not shot the finale. Like they're doing, in theory, another live finale. So we anything can change. It's also been a year. So who knows what these queens will be like by the time they actually get on stage. My understanding it's a live finale. I should double check. But yeah, I'm excited, and what I like the most is even in the last Spanish season, I felt like there were some good queens, but like it was a sort of like talent-wise mediocre. They were just entertaining, and because Espana is such a good season, they such a good production, they like elevated them. I actually think this cast is better than last season's cast. So
Damn, that is a
I'm
lot. That we had a very good cast last year, I thought. But then again, it's also when you remember a good cast, you're really remembering like the top six, like
yeah,
because the bottom six, and we kind of know who the bottom six are going to be pretty early on. But
yeah.
I'm still very, very excited and interested. We'll see how it works out. Yeah.
So, Evan, before we wrap up this episode, and by the way, we should remind everyone, please follow us on Instagram, please follow us on YouTube, and if you've been listening to us on Slation Royale podcast, please tell your friends who listen on Slation Royale to listen to us talk about these other episodes. We can be great for your morning commute, or your run, or your walk around the park, or
There's
while
been
you're
so
cleaning
many
your
nice
apartment.
comments as of late, and we just want to say thank you everyone who has
Thank
been
you.
listening. It's been genuinely great, truly. Uh, Go
But
ahead.
Evan, who is your queen of the week?
Well, I'll be honest, Greg. I did have one that I kind of had stowed away, and it was, of course, Organza. Because we just wrapped up
Oh,
the season of Brazil. I wanted to talk about how, she had a multi-year wait between her reign and when we had season two. I initially had her picked a couple weeks ago, but we've really been having to knock out so many episodes, we haven't really had a time for it. But Organza still is a dynamite performer, one of
yeah.
our ballroom besties, and just truly incredible. And obviously, we will post her socials on here as well. But from what I understand, Greg, I think you have a very interesting pick for Queen of the Week this week.
I do. I have her successor. Uh I have Ruby Knox who won Drag Race Brazil.
My
And in
goodness.
fact, Evan, I spoke to Ruby Knox earlier this week, or was it last week? No, no, this week. And so here's the deal. Uh there was a little miscommunication. These things happen in the world of publicity and interviews and whatever. So we will not be having a video of the interview on if you're watching on YouTube. So if you want to hear my interview with Ruby, listen to on Spotify, listen on SoundCloud, listen on Apple
Apple?
Podcasts. You can
Yeah.
easily find us. And I will just say we did not realize, and Ruby did not realize that we needed an English translator. So her good friend and also Drag Race Brazil season two, uh, colleague and an other contestant, Paloma, was actually in her apartment and off camera translated much of what Ruby said. But it was a
Probably helping
really
to make
good
cartoon.
interview.
Yes.
And if you want to hear more from Ruby Knox, please listen to the rest of this podcast if you're
Mhm.
listening. And again, we're so sorry to our YouTube viewers and listeners. But again, this is how the things work sometimes. And we were just really happy to talk to her at all.
Absolutely. And again, thank you as always for the PR team that helped set this up to make this happen. We always love speaking to truly any queen of these franchises here. The road to victory runs through Worldwide T, as we're finding out.
Ah,
Truly. But truly, Ruby Knox, absolutely. Thank you so much for your time to just step in with us too. And for everyone else, we're just gonna cut right to it. We're gonna end it right here. You're gonna hear a quick break, and then we're going to hear the exclusive interview that Ruby Knox had with Greg earlier in this week. Thank you everybody for listening. And stay tuned, more Slasian, more everything coming in the coming weeks. Thank you, everybody. Goodbye. Oh,
bye
oh,
bye.
bye bye.